is enough! I have had it!
Why so serious?
And we hold the world ransom for
Wayne Gandy.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Show me
Broadcasting live from the Armada FM studios in Atlanta, Georgia. This is the Sports Joc Show with Wayne Gandy.
You may build me up, yeah, can you build me up, yeah. You won't break me down, I've come so far, yeah, I come so far, yeah. So just throw in the towel, it's a new day, I'ma do it, yeah, I'm gonna go all the way. You may build me up.
Welcome. We are back. It is September the 14th, 2015, 3 days removed from September the 11th. Let's start this broadcast off by just recognizing that even here in the studio, everybody was remembering where they were on that day. It was a Tuesday. I always know it's a Tuesday because I was off that day. That's the only day we used to have off in the NFL, Tuesday morning. So for the families, and I actually know a family that went through that with a firefighter, we just take a moment to recognize you. Now that moment is over. Let's get on with the show. We are back. It is Monday. We ready to roll. It is time. 2 weeks off. Yes, 2 weeks off. Is the monitor on or the monitor off? Did y'all turn the monitor on? I just want to make sure when I do this next thing. You know, Big Kenny, Truth, I'm going to bring them on in a minute. I always come on the show. The Sports Joc is one of the last pioneers of the newspaper. It's like 8 of us Big Kenny. He stole the neighbor's paper this morning over there. He just was walking by like, you know what? It's mine today. I wanted to come in because I always, there's a lot of information in the newspaper that is not online. I keep trying to tell you. It's a lot of, I know you can find more online, but there's little tidbits in the paper. Now, I come to you real quickly before I get deeper into the show. A4. Migrants defy Hungarian police line. This is A4 right here. I know some of you are not watching on the Sports Joc page, so I'm going to tell you. This is about a 14 by 12 article. A4. Migrants defy Hungary police lines. A8. Toddler's head found in lagoon in Chicago. Look. Another country, migrants, USA, Chicago. Look, this is it. This is how it goes. This is where we are as a country. I'm thinking maybe I want to know a little more about the baby that's chopped up in the lake in Chicago than I want to know about some I don't even know nothing about over with the migrants. I don't know who started the fight. Someone tells me this baby didn't when it ended up in the lake. Just want to see where we are, y'all. I don't know. They throw this in your face, and you skip right by this. You wouldn't have saw that, really, would it? It would have went so. It's so small. It's like a 2-inch by 1 inch compared to 14 by 12. Just thought I would. You can't even frame this. You'd have to take it to a shop and tell them to window box it, and mat it. You couldn't even just go buy you a regular frame for this story. But you can actually put this in a real portrait. Just wanted to show that with you because I thought that was funny. It's been 2 weeks. I got a lot of information. I put my dad in the ground last week. Well, I made it to his wake. I liked the man. Didn't love the man. I liked the man. I went to his wake. God rest his soul. He did give DNA to the Sports Joc. So somewhere in me, his blood flows. So we'll take a moment, just like we did with the 9/11 people. Okay, that moment is over. Let's move on to something else that's going on in the world. And shout out to my aunt, Patricia. Thank you. She's battling breast cancer. She took a wig off, showed me her scalp, and we really bonded. I've been knowing all my life, never had a bonding moment. But to see her like that, you don't really get to see that. And she wasn't confident that she could ever be seen without her wig. And to share that moment and I think I convinced her, like, hey, get you some of them big hoops, an African kind of dress, you NDRE. What's the other lady that like to run her mouth? Ivana Sandvant? Yeah, them people. Whatever her name is. And that's in. It's okay. I don't know who sent the memo out anyway, that eyelashes and weave was the constitution of beauty. Did they have a Congress on that? Were any of you men invited to where the 1 inch eyelash and the 40 inches of hair was like an actual movement? Like, who told women that was what we actually wanted? The prom look every day. Anybody? I don't remember that. Did you get a vote on that, Big Kenny? In truth, nobody really voted on that, did they? I don't know where that became an actual thing. But we are here. It was a great week, great games. Tom Brady, Brady back. I was happy that Brady won. I knew as soon as it went to a regular judge, he was going to be like, now hold on. It is unconstitutional for a man to be sentenced by a man and then appealed by the same man. I've never been to jail, but something tells me if I walked in and saw the same man that gave me life, he probably gonna hold to that life sentence when I see him again. Brady on the field, and he took 4 quarters to show you why. Him and Rob Gronkowski, we're gonna talk about that later. Still one of the best combinations out on the NFL field. But week 1, a lot of injuries. We're going to talk to reporter Ed Bouchette in the next hour about the Steelers, my former tight end coach at Auburn, James Daniels, allegations that he kicked a fan on the way to the locker room. A lot of things we got to talk about with Ed later in the show. Floyd Mayweather, did anybody see the Mayweather fight? Raise your hand. That'll be way late in the show because nobody raised their hand. There's 10 people in here. Nobody saw the Mayweather fight. We'll talk about that a little later. Serena losing. It's your fault, Drake. It's really not your fault. It's really the rain delay. I'll explain that a little later why the rain delay affected Serena losing. And we got some adolescents. I mean, crime is high, even here in Atlanta. The 2 kids that tried to beat their parents to death. The beating was plan B. I read the report. They actually started off with trying to blow them up. They put a candle in the fireplace, broke the line, went outside, waited, thinking the house was going to blow up. After 3 hours, it didn't blow. They went back in the house and started putting their hands on their parents. And it's just very interesting how that works. But that's 23-year-old, 17-year-old. I don't know. Maybe the mom said maybe they wanted the insurance money. Maybe we shouldn't have those kind of discussions with our kids. Got me on high alert. Like, wow. Maybe I should write in, if death is mysterious, money goes to maybe that might be what we need to write in there. Just if it's a mysterious death now. Plane crash, you good. Overdose, maybe we should just send the money because we know. That's it. But we are here. My co-hosts are sitting here. We got the Zebra. Racist Ryan is in rare form already after 2 weeks off. Spencer Haywood over there found wearing a Georgia State shirt. I mean, one of the rare times you can see anybody wearing a Georgia State anything. Most people act like Georgia State is not even in Atlanta. But I think they must have won a game. Go Georgia State. And truth, later in the show, and I'm going to bring you on in just a second, but Kenny Mike can answer this too. We know about the dynamic of how when you see a average-looking to ugly man with a beautiful woman, the theory is he's paid. Now, if the man looks better than the woman, what is that? How does that work, women? When you roll over and your man is more attractive than you, what is that? Maybe the truth can answer how that works. You know, an Idris Elba kind of guy with a Melissa McCarthy type body. I saw that a lot traveling around, called a couple games, and I kept wondering, he looks like he looks better and he makes the most money. So how does that actually work? Are you scared when he goes to pick up the pizza? Are you no, you know they can deliver it, right? Well, what happens when you have a more attractive man than you? 'cause that was a big thing back in the 80s with Prince. We all, Prince was like Apollonia as a man. I think most of us would say Apollonia as a man. I mean, he's still about that same size. He's like 5'9", 140. So we'll talk about that. We got a good show for you today. Funny man himself from Chicago. There was speculation when I read the report about a middle-aged man seen walking by the lake when the child was dismembered. But Big Kenny was with me. I'm here. I'm his eyewitness. He was not there. That was another guy. But we'll talk. Big Kenny, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Sports Joc. I know what it's like to be a beautiful man. More beautiful than women. I just want all of our listeners to know what it's like to be here. I'm so glad to be here. And just to defend Chicago, had the baby's head been found in the lake, it would have been national news. But a lagoon is a neighborhood thing, so they only keep it in the local news.
It's water that hadn't dried up. Is that what a
they
lagoon
just keep
is?
it in the local news. It's a neighborhood thing. So everybody like within 20 blocks of the lagoon get the news. Everybody else just go with the regular shootings in Chicago. You know what I mean?
And the truth is in the building.
Good morning, Sports Joc.
Beautiful men, average-looking women. I know you got an answer for me.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I do. I know the secret.
Oh, okay. That and much more. 888-926-7562. We'll be right back with more of the Sports Joc Show.
Yeah, here we go, here we
With a pop, brace yourself as the ride on top. Close your eyes as you ride right out your socks.
Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. Brace yourself while did she say? Maybe I heard that wrong. Oxy Brown. I just called that lyric. That threw me off there for a second. We're back. We're back. Big Kenny, the funny man himself, and the true Miss Renee Jemison is in the building. Football players on field baptized. We got video down in South Georgia. They baptizing on the field at Villa Rica High School. A lot of people are upset. You know, the freedom of religion people, all those people came out. Let's see the video real quick of the baptism. See how they took them to the water. Oh, is that a garbage can? What are they baptizing in?
It's like
Baptism of high school
horse
football
trial.
players and a coach before practice. New at 6, the pastor behind it all is speaking out for the first time. Channel 2's Tom Regan is live at Villa Rica High School in Carroll County. And Tom, in the past hour, you caught up with this pastor. He says the school had nothing at all to do with this.
Javita, the pastor told me that school administrators had no idea that this was going to happen ahead of time. He said it was the wish of a defensive coach who nearly 20 players.
Let's go back to the beginning of that clip. Big Kenny, I don't know, we ain't going to get into religion. I was baptized, and, they used to, in my church, the pool was behind the pulpit in the choir stand. That's the old Southern Baptist way, and you actually had fear because it's like, what the heck is this? They would pull the floor up, put some water in this bathtub, half pool-looking thing, and baptize you. And, the Reverend Dawson, who was my pastor, he was an older man. I was a bigger kid. I'm like, if you let me go, I do know how to swim. Like, you be thinking I could just stand up because it ain't before. But for a minute, you forget, like, it's not that deep. But football players, they look like they were in some kind of foot tub or something you would probably take an ice bath in at a high school level after practice. I know at some of the training camps I had in the NFL, these are some of the tubs because so many people in training camp would want to get in ice baths that they would set them up outside because you got 80 people and the pool that is made for that only can probably hold about 20. And so they had to set up some different stations. Big Kenny, true, football baptism on the field, wrong, right, coach,
I don't believe that the school didn't have anything to do with it. We had nothing to do with it. Only all of your players, all of your coaches. What about the security guard that let them in? Where they get the water from? I mean, how can you have nothing?
Too much coordination.
That's not possible.
Hey, the Lord works in mysterious ways.
So when they show
He
up,
will
to
provide. Won't he do it? I'm just saying, wherever two or more are gathered in his name. Amen.
Amen.
Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, we need the training room. I'm with the truth. I think that it's pretty unfortunate that you, as the standard bearer of morals and honesty, would have to color the story. I don't want to call a pastor a liar.
Go ahead.
I mean, I'm in enough trouble with the man upstairs. But how you gonna say, hey man, look, okay, we had all these people out on the field.
Correct.
It's not like we were in the parking lot of the school. We on the field.
During the day.
During the day. Broad daylight, like in the middle of the afternoon. There's a big old tub out there. There's the team. I mean, how many people on a high school football team?
In this small town, I would probably say 50, 60 players probably in that range.
That's still not an inconspicuous number. You know what I mean? You still not just like, hey, just look normal. Just look normal.
And that's my point, too. The tub could have got out there because the trainer could have been like, yeah, I'm setting up, something. But for that many people to witness something like that, especially at that age.
How'd the water get in the tub?
Well, I put the water in as a trainer. That's what I'm saying. The school knew.
Yes. Okay.
Because
so we're clear on that.
the coach is not about to do this. That's an automatic firing for him without telling. He can kind of almost keep his job if I told the principal. But to do this totally without their knowledge, he might as well had already fired himself, because you can barely even make kids run extra laps now without getting permission from people.
Well, and I think what was part of the uproar about this situation is it was reported that the coach stated that coming to this ceremony, we'll call it, was an act of obedience. So not only are you to obey me and the coaching staff, we done put God in it.
Yes.
And if you don't show up for this baptism,
amen,
then you're not being obedient either to the school program or to the Lord. So that's a lot of pressure for kids
Spencer,
to be dealing with.
Do me a favor, somebody find out what their record was last year. Let's see. Maybe this was what.
Maybe Jesus needs to be in it. You know what I mean?
Maybe he's tried everything else and was like, you know what? I got to take this to the Lord in prayer. So maybe that's what he felt. I got too many sinners out here to win some games. So I need to get some people on the Lord's
people
side.
Performing, though, they're aware about the clear separation of church and state.
Well, and
so
this
at some point,
this is where I wanted to ask the question: what do you think was the preliminary game plan when the outrage started? Do you think that the administration was on some, hey, look, we need prayer anyway? And that was one of the coaches' stances, that we need more of this back in the schools. They posted, some of the boosters for the team posted this video and comments on Facebook saying that they thought schools needed more prayer and they were going to do their part.
Well, I think
to reinstitute it.
I think as this movement of even more separation of kids and religion and stuff grows, it's going to really resonate in these smaller country towns where very easily you know that half the town goes to church because they go to your church. If you went to Haines City, Florida, when I was on the football team, the 40 players, I knew all at least went to the churches that were around me. So sometimes these people feel like they're in their own little village, and we'll do kind of what we kind of got a consensus, almost like an unofficial
lawless
census of what's going on. And this probably was one of those things. You're not going to find anybody in Atlanta doing anything close to this. They're not even going to wear a religious T-shirt to the field.
But should that be allowed to slide?
No. Everybody in this case is guilty.
Okay.
I don't know what they can do, whether it's fines or suspensions or firing, but I'm not justifying it all. I mean,
because I'm saying if you start letting different people do their own thing, next thing they'll be baptized, and the next it'll be, I think all the Negro students need to sit on the left, and all the pure white students need to sit on the right.
But whenever you go to smaller, that's what I'm saying, go to smaller towns when you have people where you almost know everybody. People tend to still operate just like the lady in, where is she, Kentucky? that won't get a marriage license.
Yeah, won't marry people.
We outside the city are condemning her. The people that she's not giving the marriage license probably is condemning her. But seems like she kind of has the favor.
She's got a lot of support in her city.
Of the city because that's how the city sees it. Now, it's wrong. That's what I'm saying. All these people are wrong for even – I've never even heard this. I was like, what are y'all talking about? I thought the coach maybe had taken the players to church. I didn't know y'all actually did it on the football field. They brought the church to them. Yeah, you can't do that at all. So,
right before practice, though, so it wasn't like a Sunday afternoon.
I mean, and it wasn't like you could have accidentally missed it because it's right before practice. So,
I'm just saying,
before you suit up, everybody go on and take this dip.
And maybe start off with a little Bible study.
Well, what I'm saying,
or at least go to the local pool and play it off.
And now, how do and what are the Muslim students doing? I am sorry, coach. I am here just to kick the ball. I am just to kick the ball, coach. And he, no, you better get in here now. He's forgive me, Allah. And he goes under.
What was their record?
I couldn't find their 2014 record, but they are currently 0-4.
They're 0-4 this season. So they walking through the valley right now of the shadow. Right now it's 0-4. It's dark. It always is darker, like they say, before the sun come out. It's always dark. Sticking with the high school theme, criticism down in Texas, not based on the two players. We're going to talk about that in a minute. John Kitna, 16 years in the NFL, mostly as a backup, because I know he's mostly as a backup because Kitna was an average quarterback. But at average quarterbacks, you can play backup in the NFL. Little town, 3,100 people in the town, 30 minutes south of Dallas. John Kitna has been the head coach down there 2 years. Alex, is salary truth? What do you think?
I don't know.
What's his record first? What's his record?
Right now, he is 2-0. He's a 5A high school.
Now, this was from, do we have his 2014 record?
No, I don't have that on me right now.
What do you say, Ken?
What do you think his salary is?
High school, Texas.
Think big.
$225,000.
No. That's lottery numbers.
$80,000.
No, $95,000 he's making. He's paying his staff members that he has hired, some of them his family members, $70,000.
Family members.
First year teachers in Texas, $44,500. He says he needs these people to win games. That's how important football is in Texas to these people. $95,000 to John Kitna.
Education not so important.
He has a nice office too. Apple. It's a nice office. $95,000 as the head coach. That's usually most people's whole staff for a football season.
You know how many people you could baptize with $95,000? You know, when you're making that kind of money, you can pull the church bus up.
Everybody
to the
had their own
tub. Yeah, everybody's getting their own little tub. We do a mass baptism. Everybody go down, come up. All right.
Some of this, I imagine I would have to. He's 2-0 this year. Indians they were 2-8 last season.
The people making $70,000, what are they doing?
They're the assistant coaches.
Nobody's doing anything with that record.
They're trying to turn the program around. Got to invest money in it to turn it around.
Maybe.
Ask Georgia State. No, that's too soon for that. 888-926-7562. We'll be back with more of the Sports Joc Show in just a second. Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc Wayne Gandy. It is Monday, September the 14th. Tonight's action, the Eagles are visiting down about 3 miles from here, the Georgia Dome, 7 o'clock tonight. DeMarcus Murray and the boys coming here to take on Matt Ryan and the Falcons. The second game tonight, the Vikings versus the 49ers. Good to see our first look at the new Adrian Peterson. Should have a big game. 49ers have lost a lot of defensive personnel to retirement and to legal troubles. Speaking of legal troubles, before we move on to college, high school football players targeting the referee. at a San Antonio, Texas high school. Let's see the video first. I'm quite sure, Truth, Big Kenny, you have seen this video. If you look at the top of the screen, you see two safeties, referee in the middle. Nothing but intent anyway, any angle that you see, especially the second guy. One more time, as you see the first guy fakes like he's running. How I know that the first guy, let's run it back. I'm a former football player. Can we get one more look at that? Stop it. Oh, go back just a little bit before number 12 hits him, if you can, right there. Why I know this is intentional is because if you look at the angle of the player, he loaded his shoulder up. He actually knew exactly what he was doing. This is no mistake. He didn't make a move, try to dodge the referee. There's nobody else in his way that he couldn't dodge. The referee right here, he's loading up. Go back, you can see. I know some of y'all never even played football and never really noticed it. He loaded up. He let his body, he came off his feet right there. And the second guy, you could always tell, because I used to do this to guys that I would throw on the ground just to try to, wear him down. The second safety, you could see at the angle of his helmet, he completely knew what he was doing. Now, these two gentlemen have told different stories. The main story that has come out of this is that their assistant coach, who I would probably say, just like the baptism, gave the thumbs up on this, to attack the referee. He was upset, and that little hair that pumps out, that's his ponytail of the referee. At first I thought it was a woman. Like, is that a woman? That's a big woman. She's bigger than Caitlyn Jenner. But that's his it's a lot of Hispanics that live in San Antonio. If you've ever been there, they like to sell, they don't do baked beans. They do
frijoles.
Yeah, they do them other beans with they made me mad that year. I played down there with during Katrina. We had to live in San Antonio and play. I'm gonna go ahead and say my opinion. You two can have yours. The coach should never be allowed to coach again. Both of these players should be ejected completely, whether they're seniors, juniors. That's it. It's a wrap.
The coach
can't make me go hit the ref.
Do you think that's what the coach did?
He can make me go hit the quarterback illegally, but when he would have told me that, I would have been like, no. You're trying to get me done with football. They're going to throw me out. Like this would have had to be my last game. Last game we in for some stuff maybe.
And I know I'm not going anywhere.
yeah. It ain't going to be no surprise if Ron Artest slapped in his last game. Yeah, I can slap the coach, the ref. I'm going home. I don't even have to pay the fine. Because I'm leaving, because that's it.
I agree with the players, though, definitely being.
But the players and the coach, if the coach gave them permission to go do this because he's upset that the refs in the game have been calling bad calls, okay, that's football. That's sports. What you do at that point is you go make a video just like somebody made this video. You take it to the board of referees and show how bad these referees are, and that's all you can do. You can't go back and do this. Big Kenny, next thing you know, somebody, go hit the teacher.
No.
This is authority, and this is some of the problem that we're having, with our young people. Places of authority, they don't respect them.
And it started from the coaching, so
yes,
that's your.
Yes, my point. So the coach has to go because obviously, and I think the coach is like 29. So he's part of that idea that referees or whatever,
not too far removed from their age group.
And all of us who've played sport has wanted to choke the referee. That's not like an uncommon. That half of the times I've ever cursed,
it was at
the referee.
I see some parents want to get busy with them too.
Big Kenny,
I'm just wondering about what type of control a coach has to have over a player. I mean, these two incidents, the baptism at the school and these students attacking the referee, before any film, before any outrage, it's established that these are illegal acts. These aren't things that you can do. These are totally against the rules.
Correct.
And a coach is able to tell a high school age child, these people are young adults now.
Yes.
To do something that they are unwilling to refuse doing. That's a lot of power over an individual. If you can be made to attack a referee in a game in front of cameras and all kinds of people, what else can you get these kids to do? Hey, look, this dude's been talking to my girlfriend. I don't like it. He works over at the local restaurant. At 6 o'clock, he gets off. I got a Letterman's jacket. I got a starting position for the first dude that knocks him out. I mean, where does the control over the player stop?
And on the second team, though, I mean, I don't know the answer to that one, but the other, what is St. Anthony's High School, the other school that did it, do you believe that was coach inspired as well? That video just kind of shows an angry player going in.
I think that it piggybacks, copycat. It seemed, we thought after Columbine, there was a couple incidents that seemed like, or was diffused because someone saw it done. And once the imagination is freed, that's all I need. One example of somebody doing something. I just know my point. It's not like these kids are 8. One of them's a senior and the other one's a junior. You do have right now. They're saying that it was racist. The referee must have called them puto or ponto. Yeah, whatever that is.
It's almost like frijoles.
So they're saying that it was racial, but from the beginning of something, especially a sporting event, just like I guess he thinks he's our referee with this shirt on.
What is
mediocre
with
producer,
the shirt?
Big Kenny.
I was going to do my best to make it through the whole day without discussing the shirt.
But we all know, regardless of that, the referee is the authority. He is the person that literally, other than my head coach, can get me off this field on any level. He can throw me out. If I need action, I had to pay a stiff fine for throwing my arm, and the referee fell on the ground when I was with the Steelers. You all know any contact. Well, and we've seen it in the NBA. We've seen it in Major League Baseball.
Soccer.
You see it, and everybody, no matter how mad that manager is when he runs up to that home plate, for some reason, them hands don't come up. Now, he's showing you enough anger down here, but he knows if I throw this punch, it's going to be a wrap.
So
I have to go to the minor league.
So in this case, who is responsible? Are the young adult men who committed the act responsible, or are the coaches or the coach who insisted that they do that?
Sports Joc said, "Take them all out."
I think you need to send a clear message that we all are. You can't come to me, hey, let's kill Derek. No, coach, I'm not about to kill nobody.
Yeah, but look at that shirt. People would understand.
That's waterboarding. But please, that's not. I don't want to do murder. So I'm just saying I understand, and maybe that's why I gave the ages. One of them 16, one of them 17. If they were 7 or 8, there's maybe some mind.
But they've been playing for a while. They understand the reverence that referees get.
You're not basically when you're over. You don't care about me, coach. If you tell me that, you don't care about me. If they catch me doing what you're talking about doing, I'll never play football.
How does a coach get a job like that?
I don't know. He must have been hooked up like John Kittner, just hooking people up.
And I'm saying because generally you would imagine or you would like to believe that people who are in positions of authority like that have the player's best interests at heart.
And we've seen coaches get in fights walking back off the field. We've seen different incidents where the coaches would do it themselves.
Right.
I've never heard of a coach. So I've heard of a coach sending players after other players on the other team. I just never, because that's what I'm saying. You have to understand the referee doing something that signifies I won't get to play again.
And that's
what you're telling me to do. I could go hit a player illegally. I can do a lot of things that I can still maybe miss a couple of games. If I go do this on any level, I do this in college, I do this in pros, they won't ever let you back on the field. Talking about Deflategate, that ain't nothing with intentionally trying to injure.
And where does it stop? Hey, you see that cheerleader over there? She thinks she all that. She gonna block me on Twitter. I need you to go over there. and then an out of bounds play. Just step on her one time with your cleat.
And hit him in
don't
the back,
understand.
especially because he didn't get hurt, but he could have very easily had his back broken.
Yeah.
We've seen football players
Spinal
in the
injury.
same kind of position get hit.
Then he was speared with the helmet.
Easily could have gotten. Why not? He doesn't see it coming. Taking 2 hits to the back like that. And one more time with the video before we go, just real quick. Sorry about that impromptu. Just there's no question about the intent. I know when this first dropped, everybody was talking about. It looked like they counter. Boom! You hit him in the back with that helmet. That man could not walk again.
He was aiming.
And he got a ponytail, so he probably used shea butter and all that, so he kind of soft. But boom and boom. I'm surprised. Thank goodness he didn't get hurt. 888-926-7562. The Sports Joc Show. Right back in just a minute. Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc Wayne Gandy, sitting here with the funny man Big Kenny and the truth in the building. We have high school sports. We've been talking about John Kitna, the illegal hit by the San Antonio high school players, and maybe getting permission from the assistant coach. As I said, he was suspended with pay. I don't know how you get suspended with pay for an act like this. The players are claiming
It's under investigation.
Oh, okay. The players are saying that the coach told them and that the ref at some point used racial slurs to incite them to need to hit him in the back. That sounds like they might be if that's how sensitive you are, it's going to be some death row soon in your life if that's where you go to. That kind of authority, looking at authority figures in that way. The U.S. Open is in the book. The winner was not Serena Williams. Everybody boo-hoo crying that Serena did not win. I was pulling for Serena, but I like that Serena lost in a way because it just shows to us that the other players are trying to win. There is competition. Sometimes you need an L to kind of justify that there's other people, there's competition. I think that's why when we talk about the Mayweather fight, the people that we call the greatest for the most part in boxing, they have 1 or 2 losses. Those losses are validating in my era or time that Michael Jordan, had to take a lot of L's. Tiger Woods is losing after showing that, hey, once a part of your game falls off, you can be defeated. Serena going for the Serena Slam, as they call it, and give props off to Steffi Graf. 1987 was the last time somebody in tennis, male or female, won all 4 majors in a year. So even this loss legitimizes what she did to show you how hard it is. And for you people that keep talking about this is the greatest tennis loss ever, if this loss happened in the first and second round, I could have gave you kudos to that. This was the semifinals, which means that this young lady, regardless of how she's played in the past, at least during this 2-week period, is playing some good tennis. She's playing some good tennis. That's what it means. This wasn't the first round, second round. This was the semifinal, which means that she's won 4 or 5 other matches to reach this level as well. Big Kenny, I know you were crying a river. No, you didn't give me no river cries.
I mean, she had her supporter there. She done made a choice. She done made a little choice.
Let's see.
She was winning when she was with me, though.
He won't even say his name.
She was winning when she was with me.
Do we have a picture of
the supporter?
The rapper over there? No.
He was cheering her on. I mean, there you go. Look at him. Look at that grin.
That's her supporter right there, Drizzy Drake. A couple of days before that, she had one of the Kardashians. He's looking happy. Big Kenny, this is what happened. Drake was only supposed to be there the day of the match. He came in on Thursday, but it got rained out. See, he was only supposed to show up the day of the match, and then she was going to win, and then that night they were going to celebrate. He ended up being a full day because of the rain delay. and he broke her concentration.
After breaking her back.
Is that as y'all didn't get that? Can anybody give me some, maybe that scenario? Can I get that past the judge?
No, I agree. I mean, I was going
that extra day with.
I never would have thrown that rain delay in there, but that makes
0 to
perfect
100.
sense.
You know, that really had happened.
Maybe it was a situation where he came in, there was a rain delay, and she was thinking, oh no, Drake's supposed to be gone. My other boyfriend's supposed to be coming from Atlanta. And since now Drake's going to stay, my boyfriend from Atlanta can't come in. And so she was really, disappointed about somebody not being there.
That's all
maybe that was
and
it.
Unbelievable.
Maybe that was it. Maybe she was missing somebody. Maybe it wasn't who was actually there.
Oh, it's like Aaron Hernandez saying he don't know where Odin Lloyd was when the shooting started.
Different stuff happened. I was on the inside of the car when the shooting started, and they was on the outside.
Serena, 2 nights before that, playing a late match, got annoyed with the reporters asking her questions after beating Venus. Here's her response.
It doesn't get better than that.
So you just want to match it look like we have been at a funeral party. I mean, normally you smile when you win, you come here, you laugh. What happens tonight? Is it just because you beat Venus, or because you're thinking about what is going next? What's wrong?
It's 11:30. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't want to be here. I just want to be in bed right now, and I have to wake up early to practice, and I don't want to answer any of these questions, and you guys keep asking me the same questions, so it's not really, you're not making it super enjoyable. But.
Well, ain't got to answer no questions after you lose.
Why are you clapping, Sports Joc?
All athletes wish they had the kind of dominance to say that. So you have to be a dominating player to say that, where they're going to continue to come to the room even after you tell them about yourself. When you just Lord, you can't get to the podium. You have to encourage them. But right there, he's showing you, now y'all going to come back tomorrow anyway. Or the next day, or the next day.
No matter what I say.
Well, obviously not to talk to me, because I'll be gone. Because I'm getting put out tomorrow.
Because that's how a lot of players feel. You keep asking them the same question. I think Marshawn Lynch shows you that. Mm-hmm. That y'all are asking me something. Even when I don't answer, you're going to keep asking me the same question. She's saying, I've answered the question. And you still want to keep asking me about Venus. More Venus. It's 11:30. What else do you want me to say?
I got the same answer.
I got that same answer I've been giving you for the last 20 years. I love my sister.
She's a great competitor.
We about to go and read each other nighttime stories over at the hotel. We are sisters. We have been here together. There will never be a wedge between us two. She has told you that. When Venus...
Yeah, and she's really opposed to the wedge between them because I tried it. And it just wasn't. They said, no props. No props. They just don't do the
real sisters.
Real.
Y'all don't think I don't listen? I got XM radio. I don't know who sings the song, but I remember it.
Did you see the whole build up to the Venus and Serena match? It was just, sporting apparel companies, Venus and Serena from Compton, and then it show them slow motion as little girls through the championship, and then it would show them who will win, and then it would cut to another commercial, Vivo Los Venus y Serena, and I was like, everybody's playing this up like it's some sort of a country's going to war or it's the finals. It was a game leading up to what was to be the final, and they played each other. It's going to happen if you have siblings that play a sport like tennis, I'd imagine, at some point.
And some of their best trash-talking matches is ahead of them when they turn 50 and 52. And it's been a long day on this 100, 200-acre estate. Hey, Vince, you want to play some tennis? Yeah, let's go. I beat you back in 2015. Remember I was thinking that? Oh, my daddy told me to let you win because you was Okay, let's throw the ball up then. Oh, my hip hurt. My hip hurt. You can't, I mean, the best matches are in front of them.
Future.
In the future, when they really can just let it out and mess
play
with each other and stuff like that. You want to go get a mani-pedi? I was having Maria come over to do it anyway. That kind of stuff. That's how kind of money they got.
Sharapova?
No. No,
of course, Sharapova. Because if it were like Maria Lopez, that would be racist. And everyone knows we're not racist on this show. I'm just saying.
I don't think they're going to invite Sharapova. She'll finally get over her little problem and want them to hang out, but they won't be hanging together.
But of course, Maria's coming to do her nails because her brother Javier does the lawn. So,
but between them, it was a good match. Venus, especially in that first set, was really hitting the ball hard. They went to a third set. Great match between them, showed competition. I think we'll still get another year. This might make her play another year to try to break some records. I see her retiring in 2 years anyway.
Do you think they have it already planned out before they hit the court? Look, we're gonna play a good game. I'm gonna win, or this is my year. Do you think they ever do any of that?
No, I don't think they do any of that. I think that from playing young and always competing against each other, I think they know they're both knows each other's games. And even the dad said a couple of times after Venus had already won a couple of majors that y'all think this is something. Wait till I let the other girl start playing.
I think they respect tennis too much to be,
How much older is Venus than Serena?
2 years.
Okay.
I think Venus is 35, Serena's 33.
Hence her immaturity.
When we come back from break, we can show it right now. We can just set it up. James Blake, waiting on, I think, maybe an escort or something, getting tackled by the elevator. James Blake, the former tennis pro, New York. Just chilling.
Where's my Uber? Man, this dude's taking forever to get here. Hey, you're black. You're a suspect. Get on the ground. You get on the ground. What did I do? It doesn't make a difference. You're the only black person out here. It's Manhattan. What are you doing in the daylight standing outside of a hotel in Manhattan? Shut your mouth, suspect.
James Blake, I'm sorry, Playboy. I don't even know what to call. Get us
better walk around with a tennis bag.
Hey, you better don't look too comfortable waiting on the Uber. What did you say you call Uber?
wait, no. Man, this dude's taking forever. There's a suspect. He's a black guy.
This is much more in the next hour of the Sports Joc Show. 888-926-7562.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Rhyme with crime. Let's get it on. MCs wanna eat me, but it's Ramadan. People throwing the arm when it's ice, it's ice. When I'm right, I'm right. When you're wrong, you're wrong. I'm the bomb. Records platinum, skin is bronze. Flows all night like vintage John. Been as nice since the first Prince bomb. Before the artist is known as with my grown ass.
Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc Wayne Gandy. It is Monday. It'll be. You can't put on something that hot and just interrupt that 16. They get you thrown out the club for that, man. We're back. Big Kenny's in the building. The truth is in the building. We're gonna get right back on the James Blake video in just a second. What do we need to hit before that happen? Quick note. I'm so happy that they found Amy Copeland's van. The amputee who lost her arm and the zip line. They stole her custom van. Y'all people stop now. It was in front of her house. And something tells me when you opened the door, you saw a whole bunch of different devices in there that made you think, why is this foot pedal up here by her nose? And, why is this stuff? The lady, she suffered enough. She suffered enough. It's enough suffering in the world. Once they've removed stuff, I think she's missing a foot, half an arm, a leg or something. Remember she was on the zip line and she got a disease or something like that? It might be 3-4 years ago. That bacteria she got, I think they said the zip line or something maybe.
She went to some water, I think, that infected.
Yeah, that got on her.
No, it wasn't.
But it was doing when she was out there ziplining that this happened, and after that, they removed. Let me see. I think I wrote it down. Both hands, a leg, and a foot. Is what Miss Amy Copeland is happened. That was in 2012. It was a flesh bacteria, destroying bacteria. Somebody stole her van while she was sleeping. And like 2 days later after the report, then they dropped it off somewhere in like a schoolyard. But the guilt should have been there it used to be guilt. Like you saw people missing stuff. You didn't think, let me rob the blind guy. That used to be a thing. There was just some code. Not a lot, but there was a little code to stuff. Like, an 80-year-old woman on a walker. You really just didn't go push her over and take her stuff. Even Big Kenny had morals. He thought about it.
80 was too high. 80 now.
That's too high.
65.
Oh man, but Amy Copeland van is returned. Now we can get back to James Blake, tennis pro, New York City, doing the U.S. Open, standing outside the hotel. Big Kenny says he heard a report he's waiting on his Uber. Undercover officer said that he got a report of a suspicious guy or credit card thief around this area. He thought James Blake was him with them $2,000 Salvatore Ferragamo shoes on. Put James Blake, he probably hadn't been that tackled like that in forever. He's a tennis player, so he's never been grabbed like that. That is him on the ground. Undercover officer, some lady is pointing at him. I don't know if she was the rat or anybody. James Blake doing what I would do. Totally comply with how, this is what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's right, but ain't no need of fighting them, because then next thing you know, the bullet. Just do what you're doing. Go down there, call your lawyer. Don't even call to get out of jail. Just call the lawyer. Hey, I got a case for you. I got me a case for you. No, I'm going to stay here. I'm gonna be right here. Don't even worry about me. I'm good. I got a case for you. You're talking about a retirement pension. I got the great state of New York on the hook. I know this is a $10 million case. I ain't make that much playing in my career as this man just set me up. I don't know if he didn't set this up. This might be a sting operation. Maybe Blake got him on the payroll. I never thought of that. Hey, man, look. Throw me on the ground. We can sue. Nah, he don't seem like that kind of guy. If it was Big Kenny, definitely conspiracy. James Blake, never known to do that. But yeah, this is a case. I would have laid on the ground proudly. Yeah, arrest me. I mean, and he wants the guy to be fired. New York quickly apologized. Nobody here wants an apology.
No, I'm saying that's the wrong thing to do.
Bring Big Kenny's mic, truth back to the building. You don't want the apology?
Well, that's the wrong thing to do if you're trying to limit liability, is to apologize, because that's an admission of wrongdoing.
No.
Admission of
the
guilt.
mayor saw the tape and he already knew.
Right.
They started
still,
transferring funds.
But
like,
I mean, these are the same people that have watched guys get choked to death on film and be like, I'm just saying, it doesn't look clear to me. So I mean, but you know how this all went down. He's standing in front of the hotel, and there are people on their phones like, I'm just saying there's a black guy in front of the hotel. I don't know what he's doing here. This is the middle of Manhattan. I don't know. And then police were like, there has been like a credit card theft. And then, well, if there's somebody stealing, it's got to be a black guy because he's standing out here. I mean, he's only one black guy at this hotel. I'm sure he's done something. And so they ran and like, hey, you look suspicious. Because any dude just standing there on his phone obviously is up to some sort of criminal activity. And they grabbed him and they slammed him to the ground.
They slammed him.
They slammed him to the ground.
This is so clear cut. It's like the San Antonio high school players. I mean, and no, like he said, he didn't fight back. He said he did try to identify himself while he was on the ground. The guy was not listening.
Hey, stop it, officer. My name is James Blake. He said bomb.
He said,
I said Blake. He said bomb again.
James said at first he thought it was just some overzealous fan coming at him before he realized it. Seriously.
Do tennis fans get down like that? Oh my God,
shoving a ball in your face.
Oh my God, I love you, James Blake. I'm going to slam you on the ground and get on top of you.
He even said he thought it was a prank. He said he thought one of his friends had set him up. They were running like a little prank on him at first. And then when he realized that
it wasn't funny.
Yeah, I guess when he slammed him on that hard concrete, the joke got stale.
And I'm sure, I think they held him for like 20 minutes. He wasn't told anything. And then when it finally got back to the undercover cop, like, hey, man, did you slam a guy? Yeah, it was just a black guy. No worries. Well, that black guy was James Blake. So? What does that mean? Well, he was a famous black guy. Oh, no. And now,
I'm going to get fired now.
I'm going to get fired now.
Sticking to tennis real quickly, Vic Kenny, you were talking earlier about Serena and Venus and their video. Here's a video of a young lady who says she's just like Serena. Let's see how she looks.
Like Serena Williams.
How?
Because I just shoot it and it goes way up in the air, bam. I was like Serena Williams.
Look at the pose
How
at
else
the
were you
end.
like Serena Williams? What did she do? What were you playing?
We were playing tennis, and I just shoot it up in the air, and like Daddy was like so cool. He was like, huh? You shoot it up in the air? Did you like see that? I was like, no. So he like said, this is the last one. So I just shoot it way up in the air. And I was like, Serena Williams.
That's cute.
Now, we laughing today. And if you listen to the U.S. Open broadcast, John McEnroe, when Richard Williams brought Serena and Venus out to the court, he said they were 7, 9, and 7. And Richard Williams, who's their father, was bringing them out to the court. They were in L.A. to meet John McEnroe. And he told him they were going to be the best in the world. And he said,
and McEnroe
he laughed.
But they're black. This guy, how'd he get on the court? Where's the undercover officer when you need one?
Well, she can always fall back on her personality
So
if her tennis game
we
is
might
on.
want to remember this video just in case, because he said in '89, he was telling the story on the show. It was a rain delay. And he said that, yeah, he thought Richard was crazy, just like Big Kenny. Not because it was black, I mean, but he just was, how are you going to say both? He didn't even say one. He held both of them arm up like they were going to be the best in the world. 16, 17 years later, I guess, genius is almost.
McEnroe's
well,
like,
25
who
years
knew?
later, excuse me. Who knew?
Who knew?
You knew. You should have
Mr. Williams knew.
He says it to me. I think this guy is joking. The next thing you know, she's telling the reporters that they're boring. Get out of here.
Cute video. It has 12. That was that 1.2 million views on there.
And that was just on that particular article. It's gone viral.
What
viral? And viral means it has 1 million views or more. What does viral mean?
Viral means it's everywhere.
Viral means that it's
it left the initial place.
It means that it's medicine resistant. That's what viral means.
I thought after a certain amount of people watch it,
it's not a count necessarily.
Oh, it's not a count.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I thought it was.
It's the same thing. After a certain amount of people get it, then it's thought to be viral.
Serena actually saw it and sent her some tickets, so she might have been the bad luck charm at that last night.
Oh, it wasn't Drake.
It was Drake.
It was Drake.
Y'all going with Drake?
Yes.
Because
not the Curse of the Kardashians?
No.
Well, no. I mean, because Curse of Kardashians only works on black men.
They done crossed over.
That's what I'm saying. It don't affect women that way. But a lot of people said that Drake was doing too much with his histrionics, the standing up and the screaming. And when you're a person that's used to getting that kind of attention, it's probably difficult to not be the one in the spotlight, so he's probably doing extra. Yeah, whatever that means.
I don't know what it means.
I don't know what that means. Ovo?
I just found out what viral means. I mean, so
he said work with him.
Unfortunately, I learned what viral meant about 19, 20 years old.
College.
Yeah.
We'll be back with more of the Sports Joc Show in just a second.
You're listening to the Sports Joc Show with Wayne Gandy.
Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc Wayne Gandy. NFL Week 1 has started. It started Thursday night between the Steelers and the Patriots. 28-21. Patriots prevail. Pretty Tom manning the ham. We're going to talk to my man Ed Bouchette of the Pittsburgh Steelers, beat writer up there. Gentleman I know from my time in Pittsburgh. He worked for CBS Pittsburgh at this point. In the next segment of the show, up in St. Louis, they're looking for a new home, a new dome. Speculation maybe going back to L.A., but at least for one day, the Rams, with Nick Foles at the helm, throwing the ball around to a whole bunch of receivers that very few people even know, even the Sports Joc. I know the running backs, but neither one of them was in the game. Trey Mason. No Trey Mason, no Todd Gurley. Neither one of those players played. Able to beat the two-time Super Bowl, well, not two-time winners, one-time winner, one-time loser. Seattle Seahawks, Russell Wilson, Big Kenny. Truth, I'm just going to start with the curse of Sierra. Let's get to business. Let's stop all this. I keep telling people, man, everybody, especially young in your career, Andre Agassi tried it. Other players have tried it. Hey, stay focused on what you're trying to do. You're still a young quarterback. Yes, you've had a lot of success. That shows with your Super Bowl championship. That shows with you being able to take your team back there 2 times in a row, which is hard. And it shows with your new contract. But now we got to go earn it. And this whole time we're going to talk NFL, there's different examples of players that seem to be getting caught up on that other stuff. Russell Wilson, kind of good in and out, spotty day. Seattle predicted to go back to the Super Bowl. The Rams handling business. Surprise you, Kenny, Truth, that Seattle lost to the Rams?
I wasn't surprised. I don't know why. I think we kind of predicted. You can see that his focus was off and it was going to show up in the game or two. I didn't know it was going to be so early on, like game 1. And hopefully he's not setting a precedent for the rest of his season, but it's clear that his focus has been a little off.
Yeah, he watching too many videos at night.
Well,
live.
Isn't that the beauty of the start of the football season, is that everybody's even and anything can happen. So
the Raiders won't win.
Well,
we'll talk about that later. Go. I'm sorry for
that's out of the realm of anything. There's like anything can happen, and then there's unicorns and fairies and the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? They're all in that little make-believe world. But it's the beginning of the season. Everybody starts off even, and anything can happen. Even a team that was as marginal as the Rams were last year can come into the new season and beat a team that played in the Super Bowl. Now, as far as Russell Wilson and the Sierra thing, I think that most people almost hoped that he would have this type of showing, so maybe it would snap him out of his desire to do things other than focus on football. We need you to get back on the field. Yeah, it's cute with the pictures with the kid, but that ain't your real son.
It's very distracting.
That's not your real son, and that, you know, y'all ain't even done it, so you can't really like her that much.
It's distracting as a fan. I mean,
it's
as a fan.
How much can you like her? Y'all ain't done it yet.
Isn't it like that old adage in marriage, until you consummate it, it's not even real? Does that still exist?
Yeah, I believe it.
Is that still a thing? Because it used to be where you can get an annul if you
have not consummated.
Yeah, I thought that was a thing. I didn't know if it still existed. And when I say distraction, I'm not saying as a player himself. Remember, the distraction is when you start making even your teammates alter what is important. When they start seeing it not being important to you, seems like you want to get to that, they kind of drop their level. That's why you always see coaches screaming, even in wins. You'd be like, well, why are you so? Because he's trying to get them to stay at that level, even though we're up or even though we've won a couple of games. Because as soon as I start cheering and laughing and high-fiving you, you're going to think, oh, okay, we've arrived. And that's what I'm saying as far as Russell
And he's
Wilson.
in the locker room playing Sierra music to get hyped to it. Everybody's like, dude, that's not going to get us hyped. You know what I mean?
That's not
he's on some just believe, guys. Just believe.
Yeah, I don't know if Sierra music gets people hyped.
Right. So
Not for sports. It might get you hyped for something else, but I don't know if that works for the spiel. But
don't get you hyped for selling records either.
34-31 Rams over the Seahawks. Buffalo taking on Indy, a team that a lot of people felt like would challenge for the AFC crown. The Bills just basically went out and bullied the Colts 27-14. Rex Ryan, Big Kenny's former coach, down with the Jets. Jets! Taking his team to victory. One thing we do know is the Bills, even last year, they have a defense. And Rex loves defense. That's how he's done most of his winning, running the ball and playing defense. Nothing has changed. He's gone up there. He got Tyron Taylor at quarterback. Don't ask me. Don't text or Google and ask me who Tyron Taylor is.
Did you see him in his press conference yesterday?
No, I didn't see him.
Looking like the 80s rapper Kwame.
No.
Oh, we have a picture of him.
Please
He's got this like ruffle type of it almost looks like the crap that the mediocre producer's wearing. He had this ugly shirt on, and there was something else ugly he had with it. And I don't like to start rumors.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you're right. Look, he looks a little suspect to me. He looks a little suspect. Let him say something, please.
Westbrookish.
I don't even know where you can find that shirt, though. Where is that? That has to be like an online shirt. It might be from the Russell Westbrook
That's what it
collection.
looks like.
Look
It looks
at that.
just like
Clothes
Russell
now,
Westbrook.
so it's probably $500 shirt.
Look at that facial expression, though. if I were to caption that, it would be "Honey, please."
No, child, please.
Child, please.
That's Tyrod Taylor, quarterback for the Bills.
Didn't he come from
Virginia Tech? He went to Virginia Tech. I know a little.
I thought he was from West Virginia. I knew it was Virginia something.
Virginia Tech. 14 of 19, 195 yards, but that's all that Rex Ryan wants. He never needs big numbers in there. That's why he had Mark Sanchez. That's why he went with Geno Smith. He's just looking for somebody that won't throw interceptions, convert third down. He's not looking for 400-yard games from his quarterback because defensive-minded coaches want to eat up the clock running the ball, and you just make enough throws that we stay in the game, and that's why you can put someone like him at the helm and win games. But Rex, in his debut, I think his daddy was in attendance.
That's not like a compliment. That's not a compliment of the quarterback. You will do because we have a great defense.
No, Ben Roethlisberger has Super Bowl rings based on that same thing. When you watch Ben, he's doing better now. But when they were winning those Super Bowls, it was just throw right there, Ben, and then scramble. But there were never huge numbers. Even if you go back to the Super Bowl, he didn't throw for 400 yards because we have this defense that you're not going to score. So we're just trying to get enough yards to get a field goal and get out of here. That's why when I played with the Steelers, it was Cordell. It was never trying to ask a quarterback to do too much, and that's how defensive coaches, the Ravens, have won Super Bowls on that same premise.
Well, it's effective.
It's a classic way to win. Now, if you want to just try to win, you turn your team, find your running back, and get your defense. We'll figure out the rest.
But the fans are driving that,
You know, they say offense sells tickets, defense wins championships.
Eli Manning, same thing. When you look at his numbers, he got 2 Super Bowls. What he's had better than Peyton? Defense. He's had number 1, 2, 3 ranked defenses in the league. Peyton, maybe once or twice in his career, has had that kind of defense. But for the most part, it's, I need you to go score 40 points, Peyton. Whereas with Eli, look, we need 17 points. We're going to win this game.
Job.
With Eli, it's, look, you're not your big brother, okay? we accept that. What we need you to do.
Up in Chicago, one of my homeboys is up there. He say he lives right next to Bear Stadium. It was an early exit for some of the people there. He even sent a picture to me. It was hard to see, but you did see a lot of fans outside the stadium. Some dude named Rogers, Truth, Big Kenny. There's no Jordy Nelson, but just put the other guy in. He reminds me of Tom Brady. They're the only, I don't even know some of the guys sometimes.
Rogers takes the snap. He drops back. And he throws the ball to the other guy. And the other guy is running. And it's a touchdown. Oh, the other guy's injured his leg. It looks like he's torn his Achilles. Okay, they've got a new receiver in. It's the new guy. And Rogers drops back. 2 steps. He fires it in. It's a touchdown for the new guy.
It's just a machine that keeps working. And when Jordy Nelson went down, and I kept thinking, yeah, there's going to be an explosiveness that they're going to lose anytime you lose that type talent. But Aaron Rodgers is not sitting over there like, man, we gonna lose now.
It even goes to the press conference. So, Aaron, in the third quarter, you were throwing to the other guy, but the new guy was open. When you have those multiple reads, what are you thinking? Scoring a touchdown. All right, that's good, man. So, what about the other guy that came in behind the new guy, the backup guy?
Right.
Yeah, he'll lead the league in receptions at the end of the season.
And Jay Cutler on the other side, you can give him Jerry Rice and Randy Moss, and he still wouldn't score any
with
points.
Walter Payton in the back.
That guy, how did he get that job?
It's a mystery.
In his seventh year.
It is one of the, it's 8 wonders or 7?
7 wonders.
It's the eighth one. The 8th is how Jay Cutler keeps his job. Nobody actually knows.
And you know, Lovie Smith is somewhere like, how the hell? I'm saying, I used to be there, and he's still there. How can he still be there?
And making top dollar.
Yeah. He's making a lot of money.
That's what the guy from the Seahawks was saying, the D lineman. Right. Whereas people like Jay Cutler make twice as much as some of the top dudes in a position that don't ever deliver anything.
He's
been with the Bears 7 seasons, 1 playoff appearance.
Poor Bears.
In 7 years.
In 7 years.
And I make top dollar. I'm top 10 in pay in the league.
And y'all gonna keep me around next year too, you think?
Yeah, and they go get new coaches. Like, oh no, it's your fault. It was not Lovie Smith's fault at all.
And even Grumpy Cat is like, dude, why don't you smile sometime?
We'll be back at Bouchette, Pittsburgh. More NFL in this hour. 888-926-7562. Back in a second. Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc Wayne Gandy. To kick off this year, the Patriots was visited by the Steelers. Patriots prevailing 28-21. All this under the shadow of Tom Brady being back on the field, winning his case against the what they used to call Dark Vader. Dark Vader.
The Dark Lord.
The Dark Lord of Roger Goodell. Tom Brady made it back in time, even without a lot of plays in the preseason, a lot of distractions, able to throw for 4 touchdowns, 3 to the Gronkster himself against the Steelers, who's kind of retooling that defense, a lot of young faces over there. This was Mike Tomlin and his reaction to the headsets going out in the game during the Patriots.
I can tell you what happened. I think we had an injury during the course of the drive, and we were getting into some sub packages and didn't do a good job of getting the proper personnel on the grass.
I think it was an ESPN report that your radio went out, your communications.
That's always the case.
Here?
Yes.
Well, you're saying that every time you play here, you have radio.
I said what I said.
Like what exactly happened? You just.
That's a Pittsburgh Steelers coach.
You guys are boring. You keep asking me the same questions.
Been talking.
Yeah, Tomlin, Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, nobody. Well, they've only had 3 coaches. I'm never going to put down what they say. That's what I said. The headsets when I'm in Gillette Stadium always goes out. I said it. That's that. Let's move on. We wanted to talk about this and much more going on in Pittsburgh with my man Ed Bouchette, the CBS reporter up there. Good morning to you, Ed.
Morning, Wayne. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. Doing better than James Daniels, the tight end coach. Where are they at with that? James was he recruited me to come to Auburn. He was there 4 of the 5 years I was there as the tight end coach. How is that case with him, and how are the Steelers approaching it?
Well, the Steelers say there was nothing, that he never touched anyone. It's typical Patriots. When you go up there, they make the coaches go through the concourse at halftime. And you know what that's like, Wayne. I mean, the coaches normally, they have an elevator, they take it down, nobody bothers them. Now you're asking to go Steeler coaches to wade through Patriots fans in the concourse who probably have been drinking for 2 quarters and then some. And then they see these guys, big guys, coming through with all this Steeler jackets on and T-shirts and everything else. And it's a recipe for confrontation. And, there was no security. They don't give them any security or anything. So I'm sure there were some Patriots fans probably screaming at them, but according to the Steelers, James Daniel did nothing to anyone.
And I know the man from being a little kid. I know he loves football. I just don't see him. When I heard of it, I don't see Coach Daniels doing that. And you're right about the Patriots. There's always something. You go to take a shower, the water cold, the ice, they late with the ice. It's something where they always make it hard on you. They push the rules as far as they can. Looking at this game, Tom Brady, Gronkowski was able to have a lot of success on offense against the Steelers defense. How is Mike Tomlin addressing this with the team?
Well, I don't know what they can do. We all knew they knew. It didn't take much of a football genius to know that their defense was going to be in trouble this year. They're making a transition from those great defenses they had. It seemed like everybody left in a hurry and because they retired or kicked out because they were too old, and they're trying to redo it, and it's just taking them a while. And some of the young guys they were counting on just are not coming through, Wayne. So it could be a long season on defense. They needed and still need their offense to carry them, and that offense did not carry them the other night. I mean, you go in there with that defense, you probably expect Brady to put up 28. I thought he'd put up more than that. And their offense only scored 21, and that's supposed to be a dynamic offense, and I put the blame on them for not, even though they performed better than their defense, they're supposed to perform better. They were supposed to perform better than what they did.
Ed, good morning. This is Big Kenny. We've had the lip reading scandal, we've had Deflategate, and now the headset issue. Are we to somehow glean from that the Patriots are known to push the envelope a little bit? I don't want to call them cheaters, but is the reputation that they have in the league as people who will push the limits of what it takes to win?
Yeah, I don't know that it's the Patriots per se as it is Bill Belichick. I mean, he was doing the same thing at Cleveland when he was the head coach there, and he didn't win, and he wasn't there very long, so it didn't take, but he has been up in New England, and he pushes the envelope legally many times, like the movement on the defensive line that caused the Steelers to jump off sides on when they were down at the 1 and cost them a touchdown. That's legal. What he did against Baltimore with that offensive set, that was legal. So he does push the limits, but it's when, these other things, they've now, the NFL has fined them. People say, well, Brady was found innocent. No, he wasn't. Plus, the NFL docked them 2 picks, including a first-round draft pick that the Patriots willingly gave up for that whole ordeal called Deflategate, and they gave up picks and were fined heavily for Spygate. So they've been twice, admittedly, convicted on those things.
Ed Bouchette, CBS, Pittsburgh. Ed, were you surprised of Tom Brady's performance?
No, nothing Tom Brady does surprises me, Wayne. He's done it for so long under so many different circumstances with so many different personnel around him on offense that it doesn't surprise me. No, I mean it's not like he wasn't practicing either. He was there the whole time. Maybe he missed a practice or two while he had to be in New York. But the only other thing would have been, did it work on him mentally? Was it a distraction? And I think we saw on Thursday night the answer to that. It wasn't.
Yeah, I don't think he can be distracted at this point in his career. A couple of weeks ago, demonstration outside the facility. Mike Vick brought him to the team. Has that passed? Have the fans let that go, or are people still here and there wondering by what signs?
No, I don't think that's anything that's going to last. I think that was a few people. It wasn't very many, Wayne, who got their gander up. Nobody, and I'm probably, when I say nobody, I mean nobody approved of what Mike Vick did years ago. But it was years ago. He paid his price. He's been with a couple other teams. I saw some fans say from Pennsylvania say, well, now I'm going to be an Eagles fan because Mike Vick is with the Steelers. Well, guess where he came from? I mean, the Eagles had him for 4 or 5 years. That died down there. I suspect that we're not going to hear much of it from now on.
Gotcha. You was missing 2 All-Pros and Marquise Pouncey and Le'Veon Bell. Bell expected back this week, correct?
No, he's got one more week.
One more week.
They shaved it. It was an original 3-game suspension. They shaved down at 2. So he's got this week yet.
And the status
He'll be back when they go to St. Louis in the 3rd game of the season.
And the status of Marquise Pouncey?
He's done for probably half a year. He's on that short-term IR. He had surgery to repair a broken lower fibula. By rule, he has to miss the first 6 games, but he's not going. Then he can start practicing, and it's going to take him a few weeks to get back into practice. So I would expect at least half the season, maybe even more. I mean, they have a bye week a little after that. Maybe they'll give it time. But yeah, that's 2 All-Pros they're missing. You know, they were missing in the opener. They'll miss again this week, and then Le'Veon Bell comes back, and Martavis Bryant was a big loss for them too at wide receiver.
So basically, Bean has some help coming. Last question I'll ask you, Ed. What is your opinion of Roger Goodell at this point after the last 3 or 4 cases he's ruled on has been overturned?
Yeah, I don't know about the other cases. The Ray Rice, I think everyone pretty much thought he didn't do enough there, and then he went overboard. You know, he went from one degree to another. But this Deflategate, I think he was only doing what the owners wanted him to do, other than Robert Kraft, of course. But I think they wanted him to push the Patriots. And if you read that excellent ESPN story on the whole Deflategate, Spygate thing, it sounds like it was trying to get back at the Patriots for what they didn't get them for in Spygate.
Gotcha. A lot of gates going on.
All in New England. It's all in New England. You never hear like Atlanta having
They're
Birdgate or anything.
They're the Raiders of this century.
The Raiders of this kind of, sort of, because they winning. Well, the Raiders used to win, so we have to do that a long time ago. Yeah, it was a long time ago, though. But thank you, Ed, for calling in and helping me with the report. Thank you. Ed Buchette.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
CBS, Pittsburgh. As we talked about Mike Vick, I just started to think. I was there for 4 years. I don't remember a lot of dog walking. I did have one neighbor that had a dog, but it wasn't like Atlanta where you go out for a walk or drive around and we have just infused dogs as though they are people.
Maybe it's climate too.
No, this is just an animal-friendly city.
Yeah,
we love our toy dogs.
You might catch them outside smoking cigarettes, but you never really saw a lot of dog walking. I guess it might be too cold.
It's cold.
You don't want to get up and go to work, so I know you ain't gonna want to get up and walk.
You curse that dog.
all the dogs are just looking outside like, what?
I'm not going out there either.
Oh man, but Le'Veon Bell, if they ever get Pouncey back, I think maybe he's a little more hurt than he is. We're being led to believe, and Martavis Bryant definitely will help Ben. The defense this year with Dick LeBeau and some of the starters, Troy Polamalu, and the big names are gone. But don't worry, Steeler fans. You know, we retool. We just reshuffle the deck. Give us a couple of games. We'll be back in the action. 888-926-7562. Back with more of the Sports Joc Show in the NFL in just a second. Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc Wayne Gandy. Thank you, Mr. Ed Buchette, CBS Pittsburgh beat writer for the Steelers. We were talking about people on the suspended list. Le'Veon Bell, one more game for him. Martavis Bryant for the Steelers. He was suspended for 4 games. Actually, 40 players were listed on the NFL suspended list to start the season. That's 40 players for 2015. A lot of teams looking for some of their stars to come back. Estimated $95 billion will be bet on NFL games this year. $95 billion will be a lot of money. NFL.
Billion.
Billion.
With a B.
Speaking of NFL and money, I saw a statistic this morning that over 50 million people play fantasy sports, and 34% of those people are female. They're saying that the largest group of fantasy football players now that are coming into the game are female, and the NFL is all in favor of it because females make the purchasing decisions in the home. So they see that as a surefire way to get at the
As
pocket.
income stream.
Right. So
Once again, proving that women just won't let men
have anything.
have anything
Oh, we're gonna get
for
it.
themselves. Because you don't see men signing up for things that women are
like
like.
pole dancing classes.
Yeah, you don't really.
Y'all don't want to come? Sure.
No. No.
Sports Joc. The bridal show is this weekend.
For fantasy football.
You want to go?
No, I don't.
Say
wanna
yes
go.
to the dress. Fantasy
Men
football
don't
for me gave me an opportunity to look at the entire NFL. You know, we typically have our home team, and you know we know the players and we know the injuries. But when you're playing fantasy football, you've got to look at the whole NFL. You've got to know who's down, and it really helps to
But men,
pull everything together.
But to tell you the truth, most men only know their team. They know other players when that team of that they follow play those teams. They're not as knowledgeable about other teams as women think. They think because he can say somebody's name, oh yeah, Phillip Rivers playing good. If you asked him who was the center or who's the linebacker for the San Diego,
Well, I don't mean
wouldn't.
necessarily names of people, but just an understanding of the game. It really has helped to pull it together when you see how it all works and you play fantasy football. For me,
Okay. I don't want to know about the poll or. Men don't even like to go to baby shower. We don't like to do anything.
No, you just
really.
want to watch sports. I understand.
Well, hunt
And
Well,
play.
Big Kenny like to.
Oh, and sex.
Well,
I heard
very-
hunting and
some-
sex, and I tuned in. We hunting for sex.
zoned out.
I was sitting over here listening to like baby shower, bridal show, hunting and sex. Oh, really? What was that? So,
I'm in.
there's someone called.
Man, real quickly, get some of these games that I did not. I flipped through a lot of games. Cam, I'm sorry, I didn't. Panthers, Jags, just didn't. You know, it didn't make me want to order a 12-piece wing. When you hear Panthers, Jag, you really can do lawn stuff like that when you hear that game. But Panthers did win over the Jags like we would expect that they would. Y'all said that Jared's on the line. Ah, man, do we have to start this already week 1? Can't we just get a bye week
Good
for the
morning,
Raiders?
Jared.
Good morning to you, Jared. Oh, you hung
did he?
up. Oh, thank you. See, that baptism worked down at the high school.
The party you are calling does not wish to talk.
And now he's sending you the voicemail.
What is he gonna call and say?
We'll
We'll get him next week. What is he gonna call and say?
Let's understand how this game went. The Raiders got the ball against the Bengals. It was a 3-and-out. They punted the ball. The Bengals got the ball. The Bengals took the ball. Score. So right off the bat, your offense did nothing. Your defense did nothing. Next thing you know, it was 33-0, and you scored 13 points just to make it seem like you did something at some point in the game. But you scored those 13 points in the fourth quarter. The Bengals winning 33-13. Jared texted me at some point. You know, he loves to try to kind of get the bullet out the way, trying to soften me up for Monday. The Raiders, I told you, 6-10 maybe. Dave, what was the backup? The starting quarterback got knocked out the game. That's the one thing I want to talk about before we read any scores too. If you watched the games yesterday, I told you and Big Kenny this, with all these changes in practice and hitting and all that kind of stuff, you saw a lot of players, at least for a play or two, from simple things like hitting the ground and things like that, exit. We had at least, ACLs, yes. Achilles tears, really never heard of. And it was about 8 concussions yesterday. And it's a function that you have changed practice so much that you're not actually conditioned the body to take hits or fall on the ground and things like that.
There was a guy that, with Chicago Bears that got a concussion, and he was the equipment manager. You know what I mean? They're picking up the shoulder pads and like, oh! He had to come out of the game for like 2 plays.
No matter which game I flipped over to, it was somebody that had to go to the locker room. The Cowboys won last night. Dez Bryant, he broke his foot in the second half, but in the second quarter, he had to go get an IV. That's how little practice he's had. He missed most of the preseason.
I think that was an excuse. The IV for Dez was like, yeah, I'm going to need something in my arm.
Is that Jared?
I'm here.
Oh, y'all called him back. Good morning to you, Jared. The only Raider fan that is answering their call today. You called a second ago, man. How you doing?
I'm awesome. I'm here to take my weekly medicine, but it feels like week 14 already.
Well, it's going to be like this week 14, so.
I told you when you asked me, I said, watch out for the Chiefs. You didn't want to listen to me. And I told you the Chiefs have defense. They got some players on offense. Your Raiders right where they started, and it's time for you. You want to improve your team? Get rid of Charles Woodson. Get rid of Charles Woodson. Usher out the old.
Get rid of Al Davis' son.
Usher out the old. You're still making the people think in the past. You need them to think in the present. Charles Woodson, yeah, he can play safety. Anybody can stay 40 yards off the ball and come up late. But if you watch the game, he shows his age. It's time to move on, turn the page, let the fresh blood run stuff.
Or pick a new team.
Khalil Mack is not going to take over the defense until Charles Woodson leaves, because Charles Woodson is the voice. He is a Hall of Famer. He is going to the Hall of Fame. But when you're a young man, you want that star linebacker you just drafted 2 years ago to start standing up and cursing people out. Not the 17-year vet.
Let me tell you guys something right now. If we're going to show them that we're Raiders, we're going to do it in the third quarter.
Jared don't like that. Y'all see how quiet
now everybody, Raiders on 3.
not coming from a Jets fan, definitely.
But we won yesterday.
Y'all won yesterday.
We won yesterday, Jared.
And Geno Smith.
You were playing the one team that's worse than us. Calm down.
The Jets are undefeated, baby. That's all I'm saying.
They undefeated.
They are undefeated.
We undefeated.
And somebody called.
You'll see us out in Oakland in like 3-4 weeks. I think just come out the Raiders.
95
we got the Jets coming in here today.
Sounds like a bet. $95 million. I mean, somebody bet on the game. But thank you for calling in. The Jets.
Jets.
Did beat the Browns yesterday, 31-10. New quarterback. You can go ahead on and get your bags packed, Geno. It's over. Fitzpatrick, he's not the answer either, but if he can do enough before you come back from injury, they're going to go ahead on and just decide, hey, who's the top college quarterback, draft him, and move on. Winning the game, a lot of players, even when Geno went out, thought they had a better chance winning, kind of like RG3. A lot of players with Washington was like, okay, we can win a little better now. Things are set with Kirk Cousins. Even though they lost, the attitude of the players changed. That's what I was saying earlier about Russell Wilson. Your quarterback always sets the tempo as far as how some of the other players, not all of them, but however they regard that guy is typically how they decide they're going to dedicate themselves to what's going on. So Geno Smith out, Ryan Fitzpatrick in, who's not necessarily, I'm not saying he's the answer either. Brian Hoyer knocked out, Johnny Manziel in. Money sign wasn't doing much. He did a little early, but he didn't get a lot of reps. You got to understand that. When you're the backup quarterback in the NFL, you actually get 1-2 snaps of practice that really count. You usually run the other team's offense for the scout team. But Johnny Manziel will get a chance this time. Now, if he doesn't take advantage of these next 2 weeks with Hoyer out, that's if Hoyer's out, then you might see him in a Oakland Raider uniform or something on the street with Tim Tebow. You only get so many chances. Manziel showed you a little growth, but not much in this game against the Jets, but they were able to win. Antonio Cromartie did go out. Looked like he tore his ACL, that same kind of injury, non-contact that Jordy Nelson, when we showed that clip, it was just non-contact. He went to try to run forward. His leg went from under him. Terrell Suggs is out. Baltimore losing to Denver yesterday. Terrell Suggs tore his Achilles, so he is out already. And I had, when Big Kenny asked me, somebody asked me about who's going to win the Super Bowl. And I said we have to wait till the first month is over because we got to figure out who's hurt. It's always that way. You're going to lose a good 8 to 10 top players
from injuries. And then once you get all that out the way, then that team can be picked.
Do most teams assume that all of the injuries are going to come in the preseason? Like we had Jordy Nelson go out, we had Pouncey go down. Is everybody like, okay, that's the worst of the injuries, and then the first game of the season, Suggs.
It's like
ruptures in
no,
Achilles.
really. If you can get past the preseason and like those first 3 games, then it seems like all those players make the rest of the season for some reason. It's just like that. I don't know why it always turns out like that. But Suggs out. We got like 4 top stars out for the rest of the year.
2 more games of injuries to look out for.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We'll be back for the Sports Joc Show.
So the Raiders may come up.
No. Right after this.
Enough is enough! I have had it! Why so serious? And we hold the world ransom for Wayne Gandy. Excuse me while I whip this out. Show me.
Broadcasting live from the Armada FM studios in Atlanta, Georgia. This is the Sports Joc Show with Wayne Gandy.
Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc, Wayne Gandy. Just to finish up our NFL action from yesterday. Remember tonight, Eagles, Falcons at 7. Vikings, 49ers, I guess Eastern time, that'll be 10. So most of you will miss that. I'm quite sure most of you will miss that. They're on the West Coast. Nobody's going to small market against 49ers. I don't see a lot of people staying up just to watch that. Might be wrong on that. The Giants went into Dallas Stadium. Tony Romo playing hero. Got married 2 years ago. I got a little baby. Trying to really turn his career around on the field. Great drive by him late in that game. I said that Baltimore lost to Denver. Oakland to Cincinnati. The battle of the first 2 picks happened down in Tampa, Florida. One guy showed up and the other one did not. I don't know what happened to my son, Jameis Winston, but he looked like he should have stayed in college. And he looked rusty. He didn't look like he was rising to the occasion, even when he was throwing without pressure. The ball just didn't have any snap. I take my hats off to you, young man. I know it's a lot of pressure on you from outside things. Let that go and just become the football player. I know it's hard. It's easy to say that, but you're going to have to let some of that go. You seem like you're trying to, even on your interceptions, you look like you're trying not to make a mistake. And that's how you make mistakes, trying not to make the mistake. You know, trying to make sure the ball is in the right spot. Just go back to how you play. You know, you was kind of more of a make it up as you go kind of player. Hey, don't let them take that away from you. Throwing a pick 6, Marcus Mariota, the second pick, throwing 4 touchdowns, at least the first time around, showing Jameis Winston the way. The Chargers came back on Detroit. Detroit started off hot. Phillip Rivers came in and blazed it up in the second half. The Saints losing to Arizona. Watch out for the Cardinals. Bruce Arians and those boys picking up where they left off last year. The Saints, I questioned why you let Jimmy Graham go. Jimmy Graham questioned why you let Jimmy Graham go. Saying even during the Seahawk game, he thought that he was Sean Payton's man, but that is no longer true. I said Carolina. We went over that. Miami visiting Washington Redskins and Ndamukong Suh already up to his shenanigans again. Changed the uniform, but you can't change the man. A lot of money in his pocket, leaving Detroit, going to Miami. We got those plays of Suh already under some controversy. Looked like he illegally kicked Alfred Morris. Maybe kicked his helmet off right there. That's just where he is. That's how he plays. You love him if he's on your team, hate him if he's on the other team. He's always, I don't think he's ever going to change his style. That's what he is. That's how his mind works. And it's so funny because it's almost like an oxymoron of playing football and then getting accused of bullying. It's like, isn't it the same thing? Like, you know, playing too aggressive. Can that actually be a thing in an actual physical sport, that you're being too aggressive? But in Ndamukong Suh, kind of like the Patriots, they push the limits of what goes on. The Chiefs over Houston, really no threat of the Texans winning this game at any point. The Packers, as we said, over the Bears. Jay Cutler up to his old losing ways. I think that's it. I did see a report on Dwight Freeney trying to sue. I told Big Kenny and Truth, trying to sue Bank of America. I don't know if you're going to win that case. That is a lot of money. Maybe you can get Bank of America to settle out. Bank of America said that it was not their policy to have to inform you of when they fire somebody or something like that. Sounds like, when I listened to the report, it was on Outside the Lines, if you get a chance. It just sounds like you got messed up with some shady people that might have targeted you from the jump. Not just like came up with the idea as it went along, but already had that in mind. When we caught us a big fish, we had already decided we were going to fry it. We weren't going to bake it. We just trying to get it. Because we got the grease and we got the meal already. We just need the fish. And that's what sounded like he got caught up in. Let me bring my co-host back on. Big Kenny is in the building. Funny man himself. And Decatur's on. The Truth.
What did I tell you about that?
I mean, Atlanta's on.
What's wrong with the East Side, folks?
I am a citizen of the world.
What's wrong with the East Side, cuz?
Nothing wrong with
Don't
Decatur.
be like that about East
Some
Side.
of my favorite people live in Decatur.
I'm just saying.
The deck.
He said the deck, and you was all like, no, folks, no, folks.
And he
That's
just
something
does
wrong
that
with
to
the
make
deck.
me
I'm just saying, no.
Nothing's wrong with Decatur. It's greater. It's just not wet.
That's what I'm talking about.
The Truth is from.
know what I'm talking about, folks?
The deck. People are like, what are y'all talking about? It's a part of Atlanta. It's the Brooklyn of Atlanta. No?
The Brooklyn?
The Bronx. The Bronx. Harlem.
More like Queens.
Queens. The Queens of Atlanta. So what would the Swats be?
Hell.
It's their own Bronx.
Yeah, the Swats is definitely the Bronx.
They get down over it.
The Swats is the Bronx, you think?
Okay. So Decatur is Queens. Where is Long Island? Lawrenceville?
Yeah, Kennesaw.
That'd be some,
no street cred.
Athens.
Yeah.
Athens.
Yeah. It's not really New York.
So where's Harlem? What would be Harlem? Morningside?
Bankhead.
No, they get
Ben
down
Hill.
like. No, people are like, what are y'all talking about? We were breaking Atlanta. We were comparing Atlanta to New York cities. We're all here.
Buford Highway.
Oh, that's Buford Highway then. That's Buford Highway.
Jude, did you make a Hispanic reference, man? Did somebody say something about Hispanic people?
One last note: Jason Pierre-Paul, as you remember, on the 4th of July, messing around with fireworks, lost a finger. He did go to New York last week. They did not sign him, and some of you, I know, it was kind of like funny, but his career could be over. I mean, it's hard to go convince the team that you're gonna do something missing a finger.
He was up in New York.
He was up for a huge contract.
And he was in New York trying to point out all of the good parts about him still being a player. And they just weren't seeing his presentation like he wanted them to.
They said they would bring him back up in about 6 weeks. I think it's probably more mental.
I'm saying, I don't think the finger will be back.
No, I think 6 weeks.
It's going to regenerate.
Like they're going to give him 6 weeks and it'll
6
heal.
weeks, the
No,
finger will
I think
grow right back.
He'll
like
come back. It may
earthworm.
be a more healed looking nub, but it's still going to be a nub.
Well, I think it's probably mental, though. Something, you blow your thumb off.
I'm just saying.
He's got to feel like an idiot.
I'm imagining, at the very least, it's probably equal parts mental, physical. You know what I mean? 'Cause even after I get my mind set right down, I'm ready to play football, that ball's still going to shoot past that missing thumb. That missing thumb is still going to make me, I almost had it, but without that disposable thumb.
And I meant Long Island, not Staten Island. I meant Long Island.
I think you said Long Island.
That's in Long Island?
Yeah, that's a drink.
Just trying to make sure people
That's
don't
a cocktail.
think. I know a little bit about New York. Too many people on top of me. It's always, I feel like.
That's how James Blake feels.
Yeah.
People on top of you all the time.
Oh, man. Birthdays of last week. If you haven't been listening the whole show, that's why we have played the music of Beyonce Knowles, 34 years old. I don't know about that. I would give you about probably 37. But, if you say you're 34, hey, who is me to challenge?
You ready, B?
You think Beyonce's older than?
Oh, everybody in Hollywood is 2 years older.
Yeah, they do
than what they
untruths
at
about
least
their
2
age.
years. They fudge just enough that somebody can't remember. Like, were you in the 9th grade when I was a senior?
I thought all of that
That's how
stuff
they be sitting
mattering.
there, like, well, she might have been in the 10th when I was in the 12th. How to get home to my...
I mean, and how is the 3 years going to fool anybody?
And what difference does it
I'm
make?
just saying, wasn't he in the original cast of the Brady Bunch? Well, it says here he's 42. Well, I'm saying
the internet.
That was back in the 70s, and he was in the Brady Bunch at 30.
But they say some people pay like Wikipedia or something to publicize wrong birth dates and stuff.
Ages.
I used to hear that. Y'all think I know nothing about the computer? I just don't know. I just don't know how to work it.
You think we could do the same thing for criminal histories?
No, we are not expunging records. No.
Like I just pay somebody and they be like, "Don't look like he did nothing to me."
Your rap sheet is still on there.
Charlie Sheen 50, Dr. Phil 65, Tim Hardaway 49, Lance Stevenson. Seems like he's been around forever. 25. Kevin Love, 27. Pink, 36. Foxy Brown, 37. Colt McCoy, 29. Wiz Khalifa, 28. Man, that's a hard-looking 28.
Oh, wow, that's what I was about to say.
Rough-looking.
He has lived.
Everybody know I'm Taylor. Taylor gang just get it in so hard that they age in dog years. Like for every year that they live, it's like 7 years in reality pass, and that's how they end up looking like that.
Idris Elba 43, Keanu Reeves 51, Selma Hayek 49, Cat Williams only 42. I found that surprising too.
That's because 40 of this year was spent on a national tour trying to make people laugh doing them jokes.
Damon Wayans, 55. Cat Graham, 26. Who else do we have on here real quick? Macy Gray, 46, who always looked 46.
She looked 46 10 years ago. Baby, but I still sang, though. I can sing them songs, Sports Joc.
Oh, Macy Gray. Terry Bradshaw, 67. Nate Archibald, 67. Lennox Lewis, 50. Mike Piazza, 47. Chris Christie, 53. And Matthew Dellavedova, 25 of the Cleveland Cavaliers. 888-926-7562. We'll be back with more of the NBA. Moses Malone has passed. The chairman of the boards, Moses Malone, the man who started and paved the way for LeBron and Kobe. Right after this, with more of the Sports Joc Show.
Shoulder sideways, smack it in the clap, 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 like you don't care.
Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc Wayne Gandy, sitting here with Big Kenny and Miss Renee Jemison, the truth. Moses Malone, 1974. How do you know that? Because 2 weeks ago we reported in 1975 with Darrell Dawkins. He was the first player to go from high school to the NBA. Moses Malone was the first high school player a year earlier to go to pro basketball because at that time the ABA, not that part of semi-pro with Will Ferrell was true, which is actually a classic funny movie. The ABA was in existence, lasted a little bit. That's where the Pacers come from. That's where the Spurs come from. That's where the Nets come from. That was an actual league. They merged together to make the NBA a couple of years later. The NBA poached the dunk contest and all the fanfare. The NBA used to be stale. When they combined the two leagues, they brought in the cheerleaders and the halftime show because that's what the ABA had decided to try to market their product to try to win. They merged them. They made the NBA what we know it is today. Moses Malone, 18 years old. I know we were playing trip. What was Moses listening to at 18 in 1974? What would have been hot?
That's the way. I like it. That's the way. Ain't no stopping us now.
How do you know this?
Because I was sitting there in 1974 like, Mommy, I like that song.
Moses Malone, they called him the chairman. Charles Barkley, the Hall of Famer as well, always contributed the player he became from Moses. Moses played 20 years, about 9 teams. I said that when going to break, LeBron, Kobe, Moses Malone, as far as a high schooler, no high schooler has really any more stats, better stats than him. One of 4 men to average 25,000 points. I mean, to have 25,000 points and 15,000 rebounds, 3-time MVP. I actually was getting upset because I felt like ESPN wasn't giving him enough love. I just didn't get it. I still don't get it. I know when other players pass, you're going to give them, but who? We all knew Moses Malone. Your dads, your that's how long ago it was. He started at 18 in 1974. There's a couple of people, well, only 2 in here that weren't even born, and some of us actually weren't even in school yet. We were still in kindergarten. We hadn't even made it to 1st grade, and I knew Moses Malone. He seemed like he was always old.
Me, on the other hand, I had already racked up my first felony charge.
In 74.
In 74.
But I kept watching.
I wasn't in school, but I still had the felony.
I kept thinking, why isn't Moses opening up Sports Center? That's how iconic he was to me. Just they gave him one little excerpt about halfway through the show. Moses Malone dead at 60. I'm like, but y'all was selling him so hard, like you were saying about Venus and Serena. You were selling him so hard when he was in the league, and now it's Moses Malone dead at 60. We don't have any information. How are you the #1 sports world? You're worldwide, and you telling me you don't have the information? You have the information on everything. What doesn't Sports Center have the information on? But Moses has passed away. You got any pictures of Moses? Moses was in a couple movies. I think he was in The Fish Called Wanda. That's how long he been around.
Was that you mean The Fish that Stole Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh,
yeah, Fish that Stole. Because I was about to say The Fish that called Wanda. I ain't see him in that one.
The Fish that ate Pittsburgh. He was in some old
Kevin Kline, like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? Moses? I don't know.
But Moses was a bad boy. Won a championship with the Sixers. He was unstoppable. Top 5 center of all time.
My most memorable moment was watching a late night talk show out of Chicago. Moses Malone. It was back in the day when there was the host of the show and there was the guest, and they were in like the little swivel chairs. no set decorations. None of that. Just black screen behind them, black carpet, 2 guys in swivel chairs, and they're talking about Moses when he was getting ready to leave Philadelphia, or he was going to be a free agent. Mm-hmm. And I remember him saying, well, I think he was talking about Charles Barkley or something. I learned him everything he know, and then I just want Philadelphia to go ahead and tell me what they're gonna do so I can get everything situation. and I remember watching that show and thinking to myself, they did say he came straight out of high school.
Right.
You should have said, I'm going back to high school.
Well, I mean, by that time they weren't going to allow me to back in, but I just think that he was instrumental in showing the up and down of being a super talented kid who can come out of high school and play a man's game at the highest level, and also the downside of coming out of high school and going into professional sports. I'm sure we hadn't heard stuff like we heard about Dwight Freeney or some other athletes, but there was probably more than 1 or 2 people who tried to take advantage of Moses based on his limited education. So I just think that he paved the way for guys like the Kobes and the LeBrons, who seemed to be a little more prepared as high schoolers going into the NBA than he was when he first came out.
Moses was found at a Norfolk hotel room when he didn't show up to the golf tournament that he was supposed to be in that day. Somebody went to the hotel, they found him. Probably, could be just like Daryl Dawkins' heart attack or something like that. The thing that I remember, because that's what you don't get. He was around so long. That means Barkley would have been about 22. Moses would have been 35 when they linked up. Or, well, how much? 11, 29.
An old man.
Something like that. Well, yeah, I'm just saying, he wouldn't have been that much older. It just always seemed old. That's the thing. If he say he's 18 in 1974, Barkley got in the league in 85. Yeah, he's 29, Barkley's 21. So they would have still been in hanging age, even though Moses seemed like he was 60. That's what it seemed like. It's like saying Kareem. Kareem played so long, everybody saw him. I mean,
everybody is still alive right now. Right?
There were rookies on the Lakers like, man, my dad loved playing with you.
So Moses Malone gone. We've lost 2 legends in the name with Daryl Dawkins 2 weeks ago, and now Moses Malone.
I had an opportunity to meet him in Houston. He's a very good friend of a friend of mine, Joe Torre, and we were doing a show in Houston and walked into Torre's dressing room, and Moses was sitting there, and it was one of those, hey, bro,
is that Moses Malone?
Did you know Moses Malone was in your, like, they were the only 2 people in there, so it's not like he could have missed him. But I'm still like, man, did you know that's Moses Malone? And he's like, yeah, I know it's Moses Malone. And I'm you know, hey, Mr. Malone, my name is Big Ken. I just want you. It was one of those. I just want you to know that that time you snatched that ball and then you went you dunked it.
You didn't.
That was really important in my life. And my daddy loved you, and we just all real big fans, sir. And he was like,
love him,
appreciate it. And that's the effect that some people have on you.
Yeah,
I know that my moment like that was meeting Prince. And I left out the club and went to the payphone and called my sister. She didn't answer the phone, but I was in L.A. my rookie year, went in there.
The fact that they had payphones is what I'm stuck on. I'm stuck on the fact that this is an NFL player, and Prince had you so vexed that you was on some, I need a payphone. But Prince will make you like that. You know what I'm saying? You could be standing in AT&T, and Prince will make you go look for a phone.
Yeah, you start thinking. I had to tell her, hey, Prince, you know, because she had a love affair with him.
How did you meet him? Y'all were just at the bar?
No, me and Jerome Bettis, we got a booth. We were at a place called Bar One, and sitting down in the booth, and there was these 2 big muscle guys. Like, you know, first of all, if you any bigger than me, shame on you. Nobody should be bigger than me. that don't play sports.
Right.
And I looked over like, why you got them big old dudes? Why they making it hot? And I looked over, and in the center of the booth was Prince just sitting there by himself. And they were blocking, you know, it was one of those kind of semicircle.
So no one could get in.
We know what VIP is like. We know.
And I just had my arm up, and I'm looking at them, and I just happened to look back.
And he said, hello, Wayne Gandy. I'm a big fan of your football.
No, I'm saying that was the quiet, because I was trying to make sure, like, that ain't who I think it is. Prince. So I looked back again.
That's Prince.
That's Prince. I said, man, I got to call my sister. She almost got choked one night.
He didn't say
messing
nothing
around with Prince poster.
Y'all didn't say nothing to him, or he just sat there?
No, I ain't on that level, man. You're an icon. How do you, what do I say to, and then I'm asking, you know, I'm machismo.
Right.
And then when he stood up, that was the thing. He stood up to get out the booth and didn't get any higher.
You thought he was still sitting down.
Like, what? 5'4", because he had on like a 4-inch heel.
They're called platform shoes. Yeah.
So I started subtracting that. Like, okay.
And he looked at you and was like, make a joke and I'll buy your team and fire you.
So Moses is one of those kind of guys that, especially when you heard, you know, just catch them off the glance and don't know they're going to be somewhere.
Right.
You just like, what?
Right. It wasn't like I showed up at the Moses Malone celebrity basketball game.
And Moses was there.
I'm coming into this dressing room to get a cup of ice. Hey, bro, is that Moses? Of all the things, if I'd have made a top 10 list of stuff I'd expect to find in your dressing room, Moses Malone wouldn't have even been on the list.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Moses. And I hope you get to do at some point. You're one of the top 50 players. They did have him on that list. And I'm saying arguably top 5 centers, maybe even the best center of the 80s.
Hall of Fame.
Never any drama, any controversy swirling around people like him. How do you think he avoided it?
I think they said the internet.
No cell phones, no selfies.
Moses looked like a guy that probably didn't pretend. Like he did what he did. He always gave that old man. I drive a Cadillac. and I don't do nothing I don't want to do. So
I don't do nothing but dress and rest, and I don't start doing that till about 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
We'll be back with Moses is in that song, isn't he? Yeah, we're about to play that coming back from break.
Basketball, number 1, Curtis Blow. Basketball is...
Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc, Wayne Gandy. Earlier we were talking about Amy Copeland, who got that bacterial disease on the zip line. Fashion Week last week had 5 models with disabilities, part of their crew. I guess I don't understand. They got Rebecca Marine. She's 28. She was born without an arm. They had her as a model, and then they had Madeline Stewart, who's 18, who has Down syndrome. I don't know why is probably what I ask. Like, why does that need to be?
It was Madeline the first one you said without the arm?
Rebecca.
Rebecca, okay. She's modeling something sleeveless. She's modeling a sleeveless.
Can he say
open
that?
Back.
Can he say that?
Can I say sleeveless?
I'm just asking.
I brought that because I'm like, why though?
Money. You're trying to appeal to another group. I mean, like, there's some people who aren't buying our fashions.
But in that, I'm saying when I look at it, it's like almost in reverse. Like, I'm not saying that you're this woman. Like, I need to show you a representation, like you're something else. I'm showing you a woman's line. It's a woman's line. I'm not basing my woman's line based on what does
whether you have both of your arms or not.
Yeah. I didn't sit there. Let's come up with this dress, but this is only for people with 2 arms, or this is one for people to this. Like, to me, like that. That's why I'm bringing it, because it was like, but why would you need their women? So it's a fashion, women fashion,
and then the girl with Down syndrome.
Like Down syndrome.
All the models are probably like, man, who let her in the fashion show? Because she's coming up there by like, my dress pretty. My dress real pretty.
I am not. I'm not going to look at him. I'm not going to.
I got a pretty dress on.
Showing on the, but this lady in a wheelchair. Oh, that's Leslie. Yeah.
See, you know her.
But this is what I'm saying though. I'm just for women. It's almost like
why? Like,
that's what I'm saying. Why?
Why?
I guess in the case with Leslie, they can't really call it a runway anymore, can they?
I almost said a joke to that, but I'm like,
don't do it. Don't get caught up with Big Kenny. Don't do it.
But come on, roll with me, Sports Joc. Roll with me.
Don't look at him anymore.
But
go on and take a swing at the one with no arm.
This is one of them. But do you both understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, I thought you said it was women's fashion. You're making it like the designer said, well, this fashion, I need to make a fashion so people in wheelchairs feel like they can wear it. Yeah, I'm figuring whoever's buying her clothes, if she's not, is not basing it on.
You just want to know why.
Yeah.
It's not necessary is what you're saying. Why?
Yeah, you bring the lady right here with Down syndrome.
It's almost like you're ridiculing her more than you are.
Look at paint on my face. I got paint on my face.
Yeah, I don't feel good about that.
Look at my paint on my face. I got paint on my face.
But that's how they're bringing her out there. Like she's some kind of...
My dress pretty.
Some kind of alien
that
type
comedian
person.
going to hell.
And when I get there, the lady with no arm is going to be come this way.
See, I'm not.
And she ain't going to be able to point like come this. I mean,
okay. Next story.
Floyd Mayweather had a fight.
I didn't put these people in the fashion show.
No, you did not.
I didn't put them in the fashion show.
Didn't.
I didn't do that. I'm just social commentary.
But you do understand why I'm like, why?
Yes,
why would you do that?
Right. Why do I need to set it as though these people aren't women? They're women. There you women
who wear dresses.
That wear whatever your fashion is women. I didn't know you needed to point out. Oh, you can wear this if you don't have an arm. That's all. I don't understand. But we'll move on. Andre Berto fought Floyd Mayweather this past Saturday. Most of us did not see it, but Big Kenny,
I do
hold
want
on,
to
hold
say
the video right there for 1 second. I need you and Truth to focus on this real quick.
Okay.
It's a minute long.
I can do this.
Now, some of you don't have the Sports Joc page. If you get a chance, go back. It's always up once we finish live. But right now, Floyd Mayweather and Andre Berto went 12 full professional rounds. This is Andre Berto right after the fight. Stop it. Does that look like the face of a man that went 12 rounds in a fight? Now,
with the champion.
With the
it ain't like he went 12 rounds in a fight with the chick with one arm. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, with Big Kenny.
He ain't have her in the ring.
If you didn't know a fight happened, would you think this was an interview after the fight?
No, that's the interview before you go to the club. He is.
I mean, he'll tell you to let it run. Let it run, please.
That's amazing.
I wear track shoes tonight, man, but you know, I had to do a lot of chasing. What's up, man? All right. Good fight, man. Good fight. All right. I had to do a lot of chasing tonight, but a lot of chasing, yeah. I had to do a lot of chasing tonight.
How do you feel? You think it was a fair fight?
Stop it one more time.
Fair fight. Everything.
Where is the swollen lip or the
cut
something?
eye? He didn't even need his cut, man.
Not an early one-punch knockout. 12 full rounds.
He's not even breathing hard.
I actually thought the clip was wrong. I had to check the date. You know how you see the little date up there, and I was like, well, maybe this I don't know anything about computer. Maybe I'm punching on the wrong thing, and this pops up. I'm like, man, this is what? Was this before the fight? This I don't understand. He does look like we about to go get a party on. I don't need to see the doctor. Ali and Joe Frazier. After their second fight, both of them had to go stay in the hospital.
They did interviews like this. I think it was a great fight. When they removed the bandages,
they had to spend the night for a couple of days in the actual hospital.
That's what fighting gets you. They were not fighting.
I don't know what.
That wasn't a fight.
And he's telling you, I mean, basically, check the clip out. He's telling you that Floyd, yeah, he won, but I had to chase him. He grabbed. Nobody really was tuning into the fight in the first place.
When Ali and Holmes fought, they used to have a doctor and a priest ringside, just in case, because you never knew. Like, it's not looking good for Holmes. Go ahead and give him those final rites.
The camera pans over. You see the priest. You're thinking, man, they paying a lot of money as priest. Never thinking, no, he here just in case.
Just in case.
Oh, but I had to show y'all that clip because I just couldn't believe this man that went 12 full rounds in a championship fight and didn't have, like, I mean,
he looks good.
He didn't have a Band-Aid or no grease on anything.
And I'm going to tell you the thing that got me is I saw the clip but didn't watch and listen to the clip. I knew that it was an interview. I thought it was weeks before the fight, right? Because it looked like they just caught him out hanging out with his boys and asked him a question. This is post-fight.
He looked like he lived in a wedding.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nobody's got sweat on a T-shirt.
Like he was just gambling at the casino.
He was just hanging out.
And let me play last. I think it's only about 30 seconds left.
It's fair.
You know, that's him, man. He runs around, he holds you, he does all that type of shit. And everybody can see I really, like I say, I came to fight. You know, so
people are already saying this was more interesting. It was a better fight than the Pacquiao Mayweather.
Of course, we should have made all that money. They made for the Pacquiao fight. They should have gave me Pacquiao's $50 million. You know, but.
And that's Berto, and I was at Berto's size. He likes to fight. He's, and Pacquiao likes to fight. So, the thing with Floyd, and that's not taking anything away from Floyd. It's just when you get to the top, these big fights, people almost want you to step outside of yourself a little bit. They do feel like they should see some slugging.
It's boxing.
We want to see boxing. They don't want to see people ducking and dodging.
And dancing, because essentially that's what they did.
If we could roll this video back a little bit, I've got a couple
How far back?
Just like maybe 10 seconds back before the end of it, I've got a couple of questions. Points of contention for me. if you would roll the video.
Oh, he's trouble.
It's a troubling.
It's a troubling
hold up,
video.
wait a minute. I don't understand.
He was talking about wanting the money that Pacquiao got. Freeze. Go back just a little bit. There's a dude behind him with a big red duffel bag. What's in the duffel bag? Is that money?
Probably his gear.
It's not like he's fighting.
No, I'm saying from the match or something. Something that, he might take his gloves, what he likes. Like, I don't know how boxing works, but I don't think they have like football players where you just throw your stuff on the ground and somebody launders it.
And then who is this pimp in the sky blue
That's
jacket
who I
with
thought
the
you
two
were gonna
women?
call out first.
Who is he? He got two women. He walking like, yeah, I paid money to see it, and you complain.
I can see his ankles.
I can see his thigh muscle. So that lets me know.
Painted on jeans.
Michael Sam probably. No, too early.
Hey, but he got two little tenders with him. He got the tenders.
It's a front, I got to put on. Ain't that the song? Put on. You got to put on like he dating both of them, but no woman would date a man with shows thigh muscle
and ankles and hard bottom shoes
thigh
with
muscle in his pants. He's letting you know, ladies. Eventually, he's gonna want you to. It's early. It's early.
That whole look says you can't touch this.
Oh, look, and that lady with him has on a really nice dress with only one arm in it. But I will say, for that one arm model, I applaud her.
The truth, real quickly, you say you went out and saw The Perfect Man, The Perfect Guy.
The Perfect Guy.
It's #1 at the box office.
It shouldn't be. It was horrible.
There's no other movies. That's how a lot of movies
that's
get
why.
#1.
It's by default. I tell you, there is no perfect guy, and if there is one, you must have a 9mm. I mean,
to date the perfect guy.
Because he's crazy and he will kill you, your ex-boyfriend. I'm not trying to give away the whole story.
And you said
it's okay. We're waiting on HBO.
I love Sana Lathan. She was great. The actors are great, but the whole plot was predictable and
I'm going to say it took you actually going to the movie to figure that out, because I was looking at it like I know how this is going to turn out already.
Well, it was a free ticket and an invitation, and
that always gets me
free.
That always gets me in a seat.
Yeah, that's how we ended up over here.
But wait for
giving free Kool-Aid on the slave ship.
Yeah, don't go.
No.
Yeah, it is.
We'll be back.
And we were like, I want red.
Right after this, some more Sports Joc Show. Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc Wayne Gandy. As you see, if you're watching the Sports Joc Show, I'm rocking my Auburn shirt. I'm just doing that to make you feel like you're supposed to roll with your team regardless. It was either wear it or throw it in the garbage after that performance on Saturday. Jacksonville State in Auburn, taking Auburn to overtime. I mean, Auburn had to actually score with 40 seconds left on the clock to even get it to overtime, falling from number 6 down to number 18. Maybe this will wake you up. You actually have to go and earn your ranking. You can't just keep living on what they say you got. You actually have to go and play. The largest drop in any history I've known, from 6 to 18. 4 of the SEC teams dropped out. They went into the weekend with 10 in the top 25. They leave with only 6. Auburn, LSU coming up this Saturday. Ohio State still remains number 1. Michigan State is number 4. Alabama still at 2. TCU is at 3. The Georgia Bulldogs moved up. Yes, they did, to number 8. Excuse me. Georgia would like me to pass along to you. There will be no selfie sticks allowed in their stadium. Stop showing up with those selfie sticks. I'm quite sure a lot of these colleges are going to start instituting that into the rule books about no selfie sticks. So no selfie sticks over there. I know you got one in the car.
I do not.
You don't have a selfie stick for you and the dogs? No, you don't like to get a better angle of you and the pooches kissing? Oh, okay. I thought you would have definitely had one just for them. Selfie dog stick.
There's been a study done that 92% of men who carry selfie sticks also carry a makeup compact. So I'm not making any judgments. I'm just saying I understand why they're not allowed.
All you men out there with selfie sticks, call in and let us know why.
I was watching the Virginia Tech game last week. I didn't understand why J.C. Coleman, the running back, was wearing this gold watch. Anybody knows? Let's see J.C. I'm quite sure once they find out, he wants somebody to ask him. What was the reason?
It's my time.
That's so lame.
You said his daddy died in a car accident?
No, he said it was my time.
It's my time.
Oh, his mom was murdered.
Yeah.
Right. It was. I
want you to say something else.
It had the exact same time as the head was found in the lagoon in Chicago on it.
Sports Joc said, say something that makes sense.
Yeah, I thought
say
it was
something else.
stupid. I was hoping. That's why I didn't want to research it, because I was mad you was going to say something like that.
You were waiting for something profound.
He just wanted somebody to ask him what's with the watch.
He wanted to put his alumni and the boosters under scrutiny. You know what I mean? Because everybody's wanting to know, so where'd you get a gold watch from, dude?
Out of Utah, 2 college football players shot. They're supposed to make a full recovery. They were shot during a party. 3 gentlemen actually showed up to the party and tried to get in the party that they were having. These 2 guys who were at the party decided they were asked to help remove the guys. They went to the door. This is inside. You come inside my party. You're not even invited. And we asked you to leave. It picked up from there to these 2 gentlemen as the scuffle went on. One of the other 4 guys pulled a gun, shot both of them in the chest. They're expected to both make full recoveries. It was just very interesting that you get shot by some guys that weren't even invited to the party. Like, why?
Crashers.
And then they decided they were not leaving. How does that actually work, Big Kenny?
It's an intimidation thing. I mean, because I've showed up at parties that I was banned from. Please don't come from the party. Do not come to the party. Do not bring your friends. And I would show up, and some people would leave, and then there would be some people that would go, hey, we've got to make him leave, because if he doesn't leave, then he's taking our manhood and put it in his pocket. And so we've got to do something. But everybody in the back of their mind is thinking that this dude showed up when he was banned, which means he's already here about that life. So, why don't we just shut the party down? And nobody got shot. So, I don't. And then it's Utah, so if these were black suspects, it won't take long to find them.
No, they
it's only going to be, we're the black dudes that don't play for the team. Those are our suspects. Because I've been
population like 1% black.
I've been to Utah, and people that saw me walk into a store would go, "You're not from here, are you?" And
Can I touch your skin?
How could you tell? Because you black.
Oh,
and that's it.
My old teammate Lawrence Phillips, we talked about him 2 weeks ago. They have pressed charges of murder. They're speculating that it might have been sexual assault. So at some point in the jail cell, honey buns were being passed around, and they're saying he killed him based on that, maybe a domestic dispute in a jail cell.
Domestic?
Hold up.
Hey, wouldn't it still be domestic?
Can we please?
That's an assumption.
Can we please pause for a moment for this prison deterrent moment? If nothing makes you not want to go to prison, the fact that you are in a cell with a man who kills you over now, what I'm not understanding is, was he being sexually assaulted and defended himself, or was he in the mood and the cellmate wasn't in the mood?
They did a sex kit, and they're waiting on the results of the sex kit. That's all.
Stop. Well, let's table this conversation.
I know LP.
I know. Until we have more information regarding their relationship.
Maybe they was having a domestic dispute.
But we cannot confirm or deny that until the rape kit comes back.
Okay.
So
don't speculate.
Yeah, next week.
Oh, okay.
We'll wait.
And they mad at Cosby? Come on. For real? I mean, did nobody die? I'm not excusing what he allegedly did. I'm just saying.
Allegedly.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, it's bad enough you sexually assaulting me. Now you gonna kill me too?
It probably was over another, honey bun somewhere. That's usually how it happens, isn't it?
And you don't mean the pastry, right? You mean...
Well, Big Kenny says a honey bun thing. You get a honey bun.
Yeah, I mean, if you ever walk into a jail cell and there's a honey bun waiting for you, don't eat it.
Yeah. Especially if it's warm.
Because if you eat it, you are contractually obligated
for life
to enter into a relationship with the person
that's
that
how
left
that
the honey
works?
bun. Yeah,
that's especially if
it's warm. Because there are no places in prison to heat up money
You're
bombs.
so informative.
Hey, I'm telling you. I'm just telling you.
Prison
Don't eat
Rules
the
101.
Ronda Rousey is supposed to take the lead in Roadhouse, the great Patrick Swayze movie. What do y'all think as her playing the lead character?
She can fight, but can she act? I mean, I just don't know. Just because
well,
you're in a ring.
Well, okay.
Okay.
Roadhouse was about a super badass bouncer.
Yes.
Beating up rowdy guys at a backwoods roadhouse.
Correct.
Now, with Ronda Rousey in the lead, is this going to be turned into a backwoods roadhouse of rowdy women, or will she be beating up big burly bikers just like Swayze did? I mean, because it's hard for me to believe that like 6 bikers won't go grab her hair and they just beat her.
Well, she was in Expendables 3. She played a part. She was in the Entourage movie. So I guess they're gonna cast her where she is probably.
How's her performance?
Remember, Patrick Swayze was supposed to be an undersized guy that they wouldn't respect either from his style and his physical presence. So maybe that's the angle in which they're going at. Just throwing out ideas.
How was her performance in those other 2 movies?
She was playing Ronda Rousey. I kick butt for a living. It's easy to play that.
See, I don't know. I'm
gonna
jury's
skip that movie.
Jury's still out with me because she does Roadhouse. Then next year she'll be now I've had the time of my life. She'll be doing all Swayze's movies. She'll be kissing Demi Moore in Ghost,
making pottery.
No, that Ghost.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I don't know about that.
We'll see. You know.
Roadhouse seems like a stretch.
Yeah, to me too. I thought maybe.
Let's just agree to skip it right now.
I thought maybe another angle, but seems like she's going to be playing the main part. So
what's the thing with Hollywood now where they're rebooting movies with all female cast? Ghostbusters is coming out again. With an entire female cast.
Yes, yeah. I read that as well. I ain't scared of no ghosts.
Who you gonna call?
I don't know how that works either, Big Kenny. I think it's gonna be Bill Murray's daughter or something. Movie. Something where he's gonna be the father of the new. I don't know.
Because a lot of the movie was based around
the ghost gonna be gay.
The love interest of Bill Murray and Sigourney Weaver.
Be a gay ghost.
Yeah. So
they see that part. The ghost be
boo. I said boo. Somebody better rattle some chains.
It's gonna be pink, pink ghosts and stuff like that. No,
okay, no.
You can see that over there. Nice and good.
You've never seen a ghost float across the room till you've seen a gay ghost float. Whatever. With that one arm out. Boo.
We are in the ocean.
Boo ho. Boo.
The truth is, he will throw your ass in the ocean. It's time to wrap things up on the Sports Joc Show with Wayne Gandy.
When you hit the ocean, it's time for the Sports Joc Just event on last week. We'd like to thank Ed Bouchette of the CBS Pittsburgh, for helping us with the Steelers report. Remember tonight, Falcons, Eagles, Vikings, 49ers. This week at the fight, we talked about Mayweather and Berto. I'm not throwing the fight in the ocean, but I am throwing Miss Jennifer Welter in the ocean. Being part of Floyd Mayweather's entourage, that won't get you a coaching job in the NFL. You want to be a coach, you're going to have to live a little more presidential type life. It's already going to be hard for you to get the respect of your players as a female woman, but out there doing the Floyd Mayweather thing, where most people see those guys like the Lil Waynes and the Justin Biebers as just attention type personalities. It's not going to help you try to get that job in a profession where most of the owners are very stoic and very gray suit. So you might want to stay away from the flashiness of the Floyd or anyone else that invites you out. I just thought that was a step back for the step forward you have taken of even getting invited to a coaching job in the NFL. And for that, Jennifer Welter,
Walk the plank.
Well, Big Kenny, the funny man himself, and the truth, and my producers. Enjoy your Monday night football and enjoy your week. Peace.